any like cover. Um,
They will if you reach out.
okay, that should get us back up and running. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay. Now to just make sure that no one can hear my damn treadmill. How loud is the treadmill?
Um,
I'll throw a
I
gate on
can't
OBS.
really.
Oh, you can't hear it?
No, I sort of heard it when it was starting up, but not really
Yeah, let me throw a
anymore.
gate on OBS.
Plus, the gate means that I can't hear it when you're not talking at all.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
it's really quiet, so
good, good. Just in case. Throw an extra gate on there. Yeah, okay. This is much better. So you're so like wait, how do you shout this camera angle's dog shit? how do you reach out to you said you just contact SBX and then you can like do all your stuff with the GBB?
let's see. I'm wondering who the best person to reach out to about it is, because I reached out to quite a few people.
Thing I didn't see. Now my chat is messed. Camille, hello. Hello. I'm sorry for the late responses. My chat window is something to be desired. Um, I'll probably just check the screen and nix this. Use that. We want to play some videos or some such nonsense. Let's do this. So I remember when I said I don't really care much about making mistakes and I'm shameless. This is a perfect example of that.
I gotta adopt that.
It's liberating.
Yeah, I can imagine.
There we go. Galja, hello. Yeah, and I'm on the treadmill. I'm going for that Beyonce fitness thing from Taiwan. Cool stuff. And thank you for the affectionate shout out. Well, who we have right now is Eclipse Beatbox. He's going to try to show me the ways of beatbox. He's got his reaction channel of his own. The name is in the top left. And we're just kind of chatting while I exercise. So I guess who are your favorite beatboxers? We can start with that, and maybe we can pull up if you want to do a screen share. We can pull up some videos of
Yeah.
them.
Favorite is 100% Shogo. Just his style. He doesn't really need to go like overly technical with everything,
Mm.
and so all of his sounds are like perfectly timed and perfectly um, accurate. And what's it when it's the same every single time? It's
Very
consistent.
consistent, probably clean execution is another way of saying it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's why I like Reaps. Do you want to just like on your Discord, like on your end, do like a stream of a window thing?
Yeah, I'm seeing if I can get that working right now.
Yeah, I forget if that allows me to put your cam back on.
Um, I mean, it shouldn't really matter. They don't need to see my face.
Up to you. Uh, Olga, hello from India. All right. Uh, Beatbox Kanji. I think that's kanji. I'm not even sure. I am so sorry. I'm as
I
American
mean,
as it
it's
gets.
Taiwan, so I imagine kanji. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably. I mean, who doesn't love Shogo?
I'm about to find out.
If you don't, you're wrong.
You have a wrong opinion.
You have a wrong opinion
You need
if
to
you don't
correct yourself.
enjoy him. Yeah. God. The problem is I live not in a great place for
For the interwebs.
connectivity. So it's funny. What I do to make sure I have HD videos that I'm reacting to, because I can only react to it at like 360p. I have to download the videos beforehand.
Yeah. I mean, you can lower your resolution to maybe even lower than 720, your output, because I have the like I have the window scaled down for you, so you can go
As
pretty,
one of the
janky with
nastiest
it.
OD bases. Watch Stitch. Yeah. I really want him to react to Stitch with his polyphonic and his 626 effect. Tell him how those are done, especially the 626. It's there's something Stitch does, which is called the 626 effect. He's the only person in the world I've ever heard do it. He says that there are a couple people he knows that can also do it. I mean, he like made a tutorial and everything, but it's one of those sounds that like people just haven't figured out how to do.
Can I
Really,
ask
except
something?
for
Because like this is something that I don't. There are very few examples of this in any of the other skills I've pursued or am pursuing now. This idea of like, I was it always this way that people were like crazy into making different sounds? It feels like that kind of went along with Delo's Uprise, like Rise.
I mean,
because like when LM and Skiller were doing what they did, it was more about like speed.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely changed. The goal of a lot of new school beatboxers, because they've seen what sounds they can do, is not really to go towards the technical side, to more focus on the
Tone
acquiring and mastering just a various amounts of different sounds, which is awesome. But also sometimes those new school beatboxers, you can notice that they don't have the most consistent basics, is what we call them, like the percussion, like the kick, hi-hat, snare.
Yeah.
So
oh, that's interesting. So I was going to go with internal metronome, but kick, hi-hat, snare. Can you elaborate on what makes that? Like, how do you discern how somebody's fundamentals are really good?
I think it's quite apparent. The consistency, a big thing is the power of the a lot of new beatboxers. They can't get the same power out of their kick and a lot of their snares. So it's really it's hard to say exactly what it is.
Well, I mean,
that you look out
I can
for.
appreciate tone quality and power. I have to wonder though, like, what do people do with, like, there's some people who have really janky audio setups who are good. Like, so I guess, like when it comes to singing, it's taken me quite a few years, but like, regardless of audio quality, I can discern, what's physically going on. I imagine it's quite similar.
Usually you can tell, even if the audio quality is not the best, like how it would sound in real life or on a good setup, but sometimes it is sort of like, I wish I could hear that on a good setup to actually hear how good it is. Like you hear someone's crazy bass and you're like, I want to hear that on a good setup to hear all the intricacies of what's going on there.
Yeah, it's a tragedy that YouTube doesn't have, I think it doesn't even go below 60 hertz for the videos, which is abysmal.
Oh, I didn't know that. But yeah.
It's YouTube audio quality. We did when I was took some classes on audio production, because I'm an indulgent, privileged person, and we had a great studio, and all of us brought in this final project to kind of talk about audio production within the genre. I brought in chiptunes because I'm a weeb, but we all got criticized by the instructor saying like, we just had a full semester to maximize audio quality and you bring me YouTube videos like to show music. And I didn't really think about it.
It's like my audio disconnected for some reason.
My audio?
Oh. Oh no, I'm back now.
Gotcha.
I disconnected my phone and somehow that disconnected it from my computer as well,
Gotcha.
but I can hear you again.
I'm not sure. I didn't even
Sorry.
see you freeze up, so.
Yeah.
Do you want to
We're
try
fine.
throwing on a video?
Um
We'll see how it goes.
I'm loading something right now.
Gotcha.
Um,
Oh no, I don't have my tissue paper. This is the new meta. This is why my audio sounded like. So I'm gonna. There we go. There's no more elegant look than toilet paper underneath headphones.
is that just the sweat?
Yeah, I mean, like these are nice headphones. I don't want to like make them smelly. That's basically it. Like there's not enough Febreze in the world to cover up ear sweat.
I'm just making sure right now that the It's interesting looking at the YouTube introduced the when you hover over the time of a line of a video, it shows like viewer retention.
Yeah.
And like that's cool. Looking at his wild card scene.
I love.
Yeah.
Wait, no, you can see someone else's retention now. Is that what?
Yeah.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, I'll share my screen in a second.
That's crazy.
It's just.
I'm sure like no one watching cares, but like we can't. Like this is too important. This is huge for anybody who cares about like content creation. It's on
Yeah,
YouTube.
you can
It's
see what works.
Yeah, it's effectively CTR and watch time. That's it. My beatbox videos do well because the CTR is high, but my retention is doo doo. So.
I mean, yeah, your retention on a reaction video, especially if it's a lot of talking, is gonna be really bad.
Well, the thing is like I expected that, but to be honest, like when I do R&B artists, and I get like stoked about the technical things. Watch time can be up to like 40% for a 30-minute video. It's insane. I don't know why anybody thinks I'm that interesting, but I'm not gonna argue. But yeah, I think the beatbox videos are about like 26, 30% in that range. Obviously,
I
depending
just
on
want to. A lot of beatboxers just want to hear it again while watching someone else.
Yeah, I mean,
Wants to
like
do it
that's
over
what I want to
again.
do with singing too. Is like, I was watching D'Lo do some looping stuff, and I really wanted to kind of sit down and think about what he did from a musical point of view. From the point of view of the RC 505, I'm not too privy. I can adjust the window so your face is more there.
Do you see the
Yeah, I see
thing
the I see the
I-
YouTube thing. Whatever you're clicking on is what's showing up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to minimize chat or at least share it because I got a copyright warning once upon a time. So there we go. Okay, now I can see the things. All right.
I'm gonna go to my video on this, see if I got a.
Just picking. This is the wrong. This is good. It's that. See how my source looks very quick. It's gonna be interesting. This is why. It's why we. This is the one I wanted to see. Oh my god, that looks so much better. Let me zoom out real fast. No, I'm advertising that on PJs now.
Connected. I I'm ashamed to say I haven't watched any of the BBU 22 videos as of yet, just because I want to make videos on them, and so. But I've been hearing a lot about how the first battle, Wing versus Tropical, is apparently insane. So I'm looking forward to hearing that.
I don't know if you can see this. This is funny. I'm trying to reach my camera without like rolling over and falling all over my setup, so I can. So this is fun. Again, we're shameless. The struggle's real. Okay. I have to be straight. Excuse me. Ruin everything.
Connected. What's the format for BBU? Because I know the wildcards were you were allowed to like edit the video and correct some of the audio.
I straight up don't know, because I'm so new to this space. There we go.
Yeah, I'm just talking to chat right now.
Gotcha, you got it. Covering. Let's see. Yeah, Droid Cam was getting busted, so I had to away. It's a quick. That's nice.
Do you have any tips on improving laryngeal flexibility? Is that how you say that word? Laryngeal? Laryngeal?
I'm gonna have to ask, like, so flexibility is an interesting word. Can we switch that up, and can you ask, what are you trying to achieve?
I was reading that from chat. So.
Yeah, no, I'm responding to that.
Yeah.
Thank you, appreciate that. Again, this is the jankiest stream. All right, that's good. But yeah. Yeah, so it's very dependent on what you want to achieve. Let me zoom into chat. Ooh. Okay. And then I just need to put you on top of my screen.
So kind of like how Kickback was, except you can edit your videos. And it's not just Sinjo adding correction on audio.
That's probably as best we're gonna get until I actually sit down with it.
I hate coffee. Who asked about the laryngeal flexibility?
High notes. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Referring to high notes
with more ease.
Belts.
What kind of fitness? I'm on a treadmill. Like,
fitness.
I've made several videos about singers on treadmills, and it's time I take my own medicine. Where you add your own sounds, like you're making a regular track. Yeah, I do that. I actually have my audio running through Ableton right now. So coffee, to answer your question. I want to answer this like carefully. So I'm hesitant to say strengthening your muscles, because that actually, while that is a factor, it's a very, very tiny factor. The two biggest factors in ease of high notes are going to be your vowels, which is often, the term is called placement, is probably what you've heard more accurately. So there's vowels, and then there's breath. A good way to do a breath exercise, the best way, is a glass of water and a straw. You sing through the straw, the straw is in a glass of water. You can literally see how much air you're using because you can look at the bubbles. But if you don't have any of that, a much easier way to do this, stop on the treadmill. Phone. A much easier way to do this is just put your fingers in front of your lips. You should only feel a slight warmth. You should not feel any air. So if I go, let's see, this treadmill has been doing its job. No. Yeah. So like very, very, very subtle warmth. So this will apply for faster riffs as well. Although there is some differentiation. Vowels. So that's the breath. Vowels, I would just practice all songs on yang for a little bit, because the problem that ends up happening, I don't know why this is the case, but there is a correlation between breath and vowels, and one definitely affects the other. I would need to actually reach out to somebody who's actually like a voice and speech pathologist, or there's another term for like vocal scientist, but I am not a vocal scientist. I'm someone who looks up research because I want to be better. But yeah, for whatever reason, there's a correlation between vowels and breath. So you have to work on both. So if you do, like I was doing, do like, ecco la casa. Yeah. So that's like a range that I would go up. So, ecco la casa di, right? I'm not a fan of that sound, and it's a little strained. So I would do yang, 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 yang. And then with yang, I would go up with there. That's more of a tenor thing. Because it's a specific sound. But yang works if you don't like how strident your high notes are. Switch to yang, and then also make sure your breath is solid. So that was a really, really, really long answer. So yeah.
I think he's happy with it though.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, no, that like vowels are they're huge. Where I stopped, because all my teachers ever talked about for like 10 years was vowels. It did help, but I definitely hit a diminishing return. So don't forget to work on breath. And also like work out, not like super heavy, but like enough to loosen you up, which is what I'm doing right now.
This is more of a question for me, this connector one. I can do inward bass. I've got a similar tone to like D-Lo. It was interesting. I really wanted to achieve inward bass. And for a while I was just trying to breathe in and like I couldn't really feel like where it was in my throat that I needed to tighten. And then one day I just like got it all of a sudden. I like found that part in my throat that I needed to tighten to make inward bass. And that whole day I was just like trying to do it over and over and over to get again to yeah, and I almost threw up many times that day because I was just the thing with inward sounds is you're like, especially, I mean, false folds is like mucous membrane and stuff, so like you're dislodging a bunch of stuff and sending it down your windpipe. So a lot of times it can go down there, and sometimes inward sounds make you gag. Indicator's alien bass is crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind some examples because I've heard a lot about inward bass, and I think okay, I heard that from Napalm. I forget what GBB. Napalm did it against somebody in a finals or a semifinals, and everyone lost their mind, and I didn't know what it was on a microphone. Like, I don't know. I've never heard it. I get, like, it makes sense. Like the oscillation is very, very slow, so it's very low sounding. But the power behind it, everyone talks about the power. I haven't heard like a super good example of that. I'm not sure if we can find something that's not copywritten.
Yeah, the what I'd go to is maybe King Inertia's BBU collard greens.
think that was
That's a
one of
big
my-
one.
That was one of the first ones I looked at, I think.
Oh yeah.
Can we pull
Yeah,
that
yeah,
up?
you
And
did that
can,
one. You
You
did
can
one.
specifically point out,
Okay.
because I'm interested in
Yeah.
this.
The collard green. I love King Inertia's voice as well. I love his singing style. Super awesome.
It's really interesting that the technique in beatbox singing is like very, very specific. So would this be the equivalent of inward bass? Like something like that?
That's inward. That's an inward vocal fry.
Gotcha.
At first, I thought that was it, but
But it's the
that's using your vocal cords, and it's higher in your throat that you need to tighten.
got it. Okay. Well, I
I
don't got it, but like
I was-
I know that that's not it.
I was always under the assumption that it was false folds, but someone in your video,
comment section
your first
said-
video on kickbacks said something about it's not actually false folds when it's inward bass, and I don't know.
I think it was like the
But-
epiglottis, which makes sense actually. It's the cartilage that covers your throat when you swallow. It's big, so it makes sense that like that would be responsible for a big sound. It's larger than pretty much anything that would phonate, or at least oscillate. Whew. All right, we're working out here. This is good.
It's a very fun sound to do.
Yeah, I felt proud of
And,
myself for getting chest bass, I think. That's all I got.
Can you I want to see if you can vocalize that.
Sound cut off on Discord, 'cause it's Discord.
Oh. I'll see if I can turn off my noise suppression.
Yeah.
Because sometimes with beatbox
Yeah, that
sounds,
would- yeah.
it's like
That would make sense.
I don't recognize that as a human. So it. Do you hear that now?
Yeah, that. Yeah, I don't think I could get that. Yeah, I'd have to,
Yeah,
spend time on that.
It's just the chest bass, and that gives sort of the vibration to it. And since your vocal cords are underneath that, going up through the false fold vibration, if you also activate your vocal cords, then you'll have the.
Okay, I think. Is that kind of it, or is that just? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, you're sort of tightening it too much, almost to the point of like throat bass.
Yeah.
I'm
That seems
actually-
more. That feels different.
I'm actually garbage at throat bass, by the way. So
It's the one thing that translates from opera. Like that's it. Like there's nothing else that's useful for my background to translate to beatboxing. I mean consonants, like but that's not. That doesn't take that long to
Cipher.
get. So
one thing is that for someone that kind of considers themselves a beatboxer, I'm not very good at constructing an entire beat. I'm more like just like acquiring all these new sounds. I can only do like it's hard to.
that's one of the things that. So I was going to spend today basically on working on like looping and structure. I was actually going to make a music video, but I can talk about that later. But that seems to be something I get it, because when I started opera, like I just wanted to hit high notes and I was really frustrated that I couldn't. And so I ignored a lot of musicianship. At least like the way musicianship works in classical music. It's very different than like jazz or other genres where you're more applying like straight up theory. But like sight reading, like took me way too long to get on top of that. But I don't see any other than the MB14 loop Loop Station tutorials, I don't see a lot of videos and discussion on like music making with beatbox, unless there's someone I don't know about.
I'm sure there are. There's this guy Kindo who
Yeah. Okay.
does a lot of different things. I know he does a lot of different things on different noises that you can make. He probably has some stuff on um, Kindred Harvest on Inward Bass. Interesting. The champion of GBB this year, Collapse, he actually for the longest time couldn't do Inward Bass, and he was one of like the top beatboxers, and he'd done like watched a bunch of videos like tutorials and stuff, but he for the life of him couldn't do it. He can do it now, but for like years he couldn't do it. So
Yeah. I mean,
there are some sounds that some people pick up like immediately, like there are some people that can master like lip rolls like pretty quickly.
it's hard for me.
Yeah.
Whew. All right, I'm almost done with this treadmill. I'm like, let me contribute to the conversation.
I stopped the stream and started it again. And can you put that back up so I can? Sure.
I didn't. It's funny you said that. I didn't see you drop at all from the stream.
Huh? Well, my webcam is here, but my stream.
Got it. Hold on.
I'm streaming my screen.
Got it. I see what you're saying.
I have collard greens pulled up.
Try again. Got it. This is
I'm
it.
trying to figure this out. Super scuffed, but it'll get better. We'll probably do this again.
Yes.
So.
There we go. See the stream. Yeah. That's the stuff.
I'll put audio like 3/4 away.
I think I'm done with the treadmill. Sweating bullets right now. While you got that going on, just gonna real quick side grab my chair. Shouldn't take too long.
I'm trying to think of videos because sadly a lot of Shogo's videos are under a label, and so it might get the stream taken down. What happens when streams are taken down is they go off for 2 minutes.
That should be good, right? Okay. Still low. There we go. Okay. Let me change the compression as well.
Oh my.
All right, that should be crisp, right? How's that sound?
Yeah, and a little bit louder too, which is good.
All right, good. Ah! All right, the microphones have survived so much abuse. I'm amazed that they're still working. I'm going to do a scene change real fast. Should only make it black for like a second. Yep. Okay. Let me get the window capture up. That still needs to be adjusted.
Bodo?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah, that works. Whew. Okay.
Okay.
I appreciate the comment, Lance. I actually did do fronting for some metal bands. At the time, I did not have Justin Bieber hair. So. I think, yeah, MO1, basically to just demonstrate technique.
Yes, demonstrating technique, but also, I will do a woke feel it for you. That's one of the most underrated, in my opinion. Shout outs.
Okay, I have did the stream just drop? No, okay. I have my window up. I'll kill
why did I do that?
I'll kill the audio if I get the warning. I'm actually gonna bring this in the front of my screen.
Did polyphonic go down?
Copyright.
Yeah, I did on my solo wildcard reaction. I got a content ID for this and Shogo's video, but
jeez,
I just asked. I was like, this is fair use to the copyright holder for Stitch. For Stitches feel like nothing, and they took it down.
So wait, you actually went through YouTube's system to challenge it?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
let me tell you why that's risky, because I'm not sure if people know this or if you know this.
I know, but
okay, if they deny you, it's a strike. Like, that's risky.
Yeah, but I have some rapport, so
you reached out beforehand. All right, cool. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's dope. But just so people know, if you want to make videos, like, yeah, definitely reach out beforehand.
Stitch also does React videos, so he gets it.
Hello, Parth. Discover this channel through Beatbox. I very much enjoy Beatbox. I'm not very good at it, but I like it. Liquid Bass.
I discovered this channel through Beatbox too.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. What are you looking for?
Nothing.
Okay. Oh god, Azel's Liquid Bass.
Okay. I don't even know what a liquid bass is.
I found it.
Okay. Right. Loves you. Okay. Marriage is nice sometimes.
Sometimes.
I would say most of the time. It took us a long time to. When you live with somebody for 4 years, you can kind of get on each other's nerves, but we made it work.
Honeymoon phase and that.
I think in general, like,
just living with anybody is gonna.
Yeah, especially when you're so like emotionally attached. You'll inevitably end up with moments of friction or topics where there's friction. You'll get on each other's nerves. You know, it's like imagine a roommate you sleep with, like, and you can't get away from. So it just takes a lot of work, but it's been, gets better over time for me. Anyway. All right, I'm going to start recording this. Let me increase the size here and actually use the different window capture so that you're actually a little bit more present. Because I like this format, but I don't think it's going to be good for you. Window capture 2. Mhm.
Hmm.
Wonder if there's, I can just zoom in. About to eat.
I know that how it works for live streams is if you're watching something that is copyrighted, then it shows up with like a warning that's like, oh, if you
Yeah.
continue watching this, then you should probably stop.
That is why I
So,
have
or,
two
or
monitors.
or we'll take your live stream down.
Yeah, that's why I have two monitors. But I think you can also see it, right? Like as a chat member, you can see that this one, this is you get to see it before it's a straight up strike. So fingers crossed. We're playing it risky here. Let me actually close this one because this obfuscates the likelihood of it being seen. This like little weird thing that I have. All right.
God, I love this video though.
I mean, like, I think the best way to avoid it is literally just pause. People hate it, but I don't think there's another way
Yeah.
around it. You just have to pause, like, and talk about the moments that occurred.
Yeah.
What we can do actually is I can mute it. I can mute this, and then when you have a moment, like, tell me, and then I can unmute the thing, and that we can do it that way, if that sounds okay with everybody. Even if it's not okay, we kind of have to do that anyway. Like,
I mean, the main part is like, I mean, the intro is cool and all, but it's pretty laid back. The main thing is the techniques used in the chorus, which is the polyphonic and the 626, which I'll touch on how they're
yeah.
done and stuff.
Just responses from people. Ryan, that happens if you make a video. If you live stream it, you'll get a strike because the YouTube sees it as you restreaming other people's content without any sort of contribution. They don't really check. If they sense it, it's a strike after a while. I get the logic behind Stitch's logic. People work really hard to make music and things, and it is really frustrating that artists already have a hard time getting paid. So, yeah, I can see it. You can crop the cam out of Discord and show it independently. True.
Zalfon, yeah, I mean, we can pull up your video and react to it probably live stream. Probably not make a video out of it unless we like it a lot, but I don't know.
We might.
I think it's fair.
It's so that the taking audience requests, I do have a format for that. It is not set up right now because this is the first time we're doing this. So like we'll do like some polls and stuff like that through YouTube eventually. I can throw that up pretty easily, but let's just get started with this. Oh, that thing. Yeah. The first time I heard that was Reap's move.
What the?
Feels like. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to practice that. That's a lot of soft palate. Yeah. Hard to get. That's a fun exercise, actually. All right. Sorry.
It seems like Zalfon's had a lot of people on live streams react to his wildcard.
Oh, I don't mind if he's
Dang, this guy is young. Look at this baby face.
Oh, snap.
How old are you, Zalfon?
That will probably be blocked. Or at least comments will be locked down. But I don't mind helping the kid out.
Alfonso. Yeah. Not G. Yeah, BBU.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's fine. I
I'll do the BB
I don't
one.
mind helping out beatboxers with a react.
Yeah.
Just what we'll do is I'll probably I'll sneak it in at the end of a video about somebody else, not because I'm trying to be disrespectful, just like people will click on that and then they are more likely to watch till the end and see yours. So I'm not gonna I'll tell you, I'll let you know, I'll message you when that comes out. Okay. Anyway.
NL. I might pull up there. God, there's so many videos. NL with he's got one of the most insane vocal techniques. It's the kind of vocal technique where everyone in the comments were like, I think this is edited. Like no one believed it in the comments. And then later they on a channel they posted the source audio.
Okay. When is Mariah Tokyo Dome? Soon. I can't stream it. I can't stream it, Redust. I'm gonna try to set something up in Discord again. It sucks. Like I got a strike warning, so I don't want to play with fire. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to set up some stuff in the next like 50 days. 47, actually. Yeah, I mean. Well, that's the format I'm gonna have to do it in. Regardless, like you will get more views and you will get more attention if I put like Delo in front of your video and in the thumbnail. Trust. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
Who do we want to do first?
Let's-
I know you mentioned I pulled this up and you were like maybe if we go through it again and I mentioned some
Yeah.
things.
Let's do that. And then we can do Zelvons.
Okay.
Okay.
You see this on my screen, by the way. The
Yeah, if you want to maximize it, that might help. Hold on, let me.
yeah.
Check
No,
it out.
I'm just saying the
Yeah. Do I see it yet?
the viewer retention thing.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me kill
I think it's
these recordings. That's the viewer retention. Let me see if I can.
This gray thing here, and then it says the most viewed is this, which is
His
his last drop. Yeah.
So, how do you turn that on? Because I don't have that.
Maybe it's an experimental feature.
Yeah.
I don't know, honestly.
They could be A/B testing it.
Yeah, but I've had it for a while.
I'm looking at it right now. All these like how to get 4,000.
Where's the?
Yeah, looks like Social Blade is the only. That's interesting. All right, yeah, maybe they might release that for creators. I don't know. That's really cool though.
Hello, Beatbox family.
All right. All right. We can just throw up the inertia vid. All right.
Yep.
Let me just intro, I guess, for us. What is up? This is your chronically Caucasian vocal analyst. I'm here today with Eclipse React, who I will put his name up right now. Give me a second.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry, I killed the recording. 1 second. Because no one needs to watch me type. Did I save it?
Wings Dancing with Strangers. Is that his BBU?
Just the blur. Really? I don't have blur? Have to bring that up. Actually, I can just do color. Just do that janky for now. Color source. Back. Okay, lower left. Let's see, whoosh. Filter, color correction. Opacity. There we go. I need to play more esports. My clicking game is bad. Okay. Yep, that'll do it. Okay. Yeah, you can start.
I won't be able to see chat when this is,
I will.
because I do have two monitors, but the other one I need to be standing up to use.
That's fine. I can watch it. I think. Here. Let me do this. I'm closer to the mic. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
For sure. For sure. All right. we're risking it for the biscuit right here. So. Are you part of the YouTube beta testing? Probably not. I don't. That would actually be a good point if it's an extension, but then that would have to imply that the API publicly shares that data, which is unlikely. But that's as good as explanation as anything else. Oh, Zelfon, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a reaction to like Inertia or Delo, like someone who's like super, super, super well known. And then on the back of that, I'm going to do your video. I've tested it both ways where I give somebody like just their own video. And then it just absolutely underperforms as opposed to like fronting it with somebody successful. And it's not even like if I'm going to help people, like I have to maximize their reach, right? The reach of the video. So that's how I've been doing it. And I like that. I would actually like that to be a consistent format where people like are not like super big but are really talented and stuff. So anyway, you talking?
And
sorry, go on.
He is not as small as other people that I've seen, but still, I mean, it'll help get a lot more eyes to you and help grow you. And
it's like even the Milks one was like
Milk's sound is so crazy.
Yeah, like it's so weird to see like a kid sound like he hit puberty 3 times. Like,
well, Milks wasn't the kid.
Oh, the one I erected just recently.
Milk is the guy from the UK.
Okay.
He was the adult in that video, and then he reacted to a kid that wasn't Milk.
So I totally got that wrong.
Milk is you reacted to Milk, and then some child beatbox person.
Let's see. No wonder why people were like, someone's got to tell him. Let's see. Huh. But that was the video that got pulled up. Let me
Go cry to your mama.
Let's see.
I love Immortal. Immortal. I think he's God. No, the Mickles and
Mickles and Milk are two different. Yeah, you're breaking out.
Yeah. Yep. Am I breaking up?
Yeah, let me put it. Maybe I can just put the video on my end so that you don't have to. Because I know you said your latency is a big issue. So I think I can just look up Inertia here. And then what I'll do is I'll do a watch together, so that we can pause it. So it's his wild card, right?
Yeah, I'll have it pulled up here so I can look around different timestamps to tell you to go to.
No. So I'm going to put it on watch together, which will allow you to do that on
Oh,
mine. Like, yeah, it's nice. It's a really
I've never
good,
used the watch together thing.
yeah. It's so good. Inertia. My God, I can't spell worth of anything.
Yeah, first with the kids, it was like
Okay.
it's like Mortal, Da Vinci. Who's the kid from Portugal? I might pull up his video. His is insane.
For sure. All right.
Portugal. What's his?
Okay. I'm gonna
I know
send you
Dila
the.
did a reaction to him. Sorry. Mostly
Alright, I'm
talking to
gonna
myself.
just boosh. There we go. Okay, so that would allow you to control the thing that we're watching together. Let me change the window capture. Now this one is fine, right? This one won't get claimed, I don't think. Yeah. And that way you can, you don't have to share, you don't have to stream your screen this way. So you can stop streaming and then use the watch together. And you can add to the playlist and watch together. So any links that you have will be added to that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put this in a different window. Let's see. And then we got the watch together. I'll put that there.
Yo.
So did you look at your DMs where I sent you the watch together?
I will now.
Dope.
How do I?
Yeah. I have the wrong.
There you go.
I thought I had the right one. Yeah, this is right. Okay. Yep. All right. So you can like click drag and pause, and it'll affect my screen too.
Yeah, I understand about it. It's crazy. Like anything from 2019 to even like anything from 2019, you look at it now and it's like 14-year-olds are able to do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean this is
Like,
going to happen.
Pretty much just as good. And
Yeah.
I think what's gonna push the beatbox like the skill forward is that it's being introduced to a lot of a younger audience now. I mean, originally it was just sort of like hip hop, and hip hop people sort of grew up with it and they started seeing it. But now that it's more popular, a lot of kids on YouTube are being introduced to it, and they're like, "I want to do that too."
And that's
so
beautiful.
A lot of kids are being
That's a beautiful
really
thing.
good at it.
Yeah, I love seeing that. Because it means people are getting into music, and I think beatboxing is extremely musical, and very beautiful in the way that I think people are using it. I'm excited to see looping grow, but I think that will always have limitations. I think we had a huge conversation about that, but anyway, you good?
Yeah, I'm just joining the room.
You got it. Have you used this before?
I have not, but I've seen something similar to it used on Ludwig's stream before.
Let's see. Is this the video or is this an ad? Yeah, that's an ad. So, oops. What you do is you take the link in the top left kind of browser. The video will show up. You can click the plus mark to add it to the playlist. Good. Okay.
Okay.
Spoosh.
Skadoosh.
Spoosh. Yeah, skadoosh. All right. Yeah, I'll let you control the thingamajobs, Dugers, whatever it is. Let me get the. Did I get the intro? I think I already did the intro. Yeah. Let me just intro. I guess,
where would you put in the?
What is up? This is your chronically Caucasian vocal
URL of the video to have it added.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So let's do that. Well, you're watching the stream, yeah. So it's going to be this, and of course the latency is going to be miserable, but it's the top middle, the one that's to the left of temporary room. And then on the bottom left, the video will come up, and that's how
I see.
yeah.
I should have read that it said paste a link to a
That's
YouTube
all right.
video.
That's all right. Like we're
Probably.
trying to juggle. This is the problem with live streaming is we're trying to juggle a lot. You know what I mean? So we're learning. Yeah, I to me that's what I'm most excited about. I get kind of frustrated, Emma, with people like a lot of comments in the video is like I'm hype about the musicality, I'm hype about the execution, and people are like, once you learn to do with sound, I mean, it's like I know a lot of opera singers who can make sounds. It doesn't make them good. Like when your high note is a Tarzan impression, I don't think it should qualify as a high note. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway. Know anything about music? It's something that can take with me anywhere. Yeah.
With a lot of young beatboxers, I'm impressed that they can make noises. I'm really impressed if I'm like, damn, that musically, like all the switch ups and everything, and it's not like a cover or anything. It's totally original. That's the most impressive to me.
Yeah, I thought, is it improver or improver? I don't know how to pronounce his name because I only ever hear it.
He's Russian, so he's like, my name is Improver.
Improver. Okay.
And it's just Improver.
Okay. Yeah, he's that
he can't pronounce his own name in a way.
So you're breaking up a little bit. Just close your Discord stream. And you can put the watch together, I think, on your end, on a super low. I think you can change the resolution on your end. I'm not sure though. Oh, we might have just straight up lost you. Okay, there we go. Yeah, good. There we go. Sweet deal.
Okay. I'm gonna click play on the video, see if I can. Yeah, here you go. Play that quality. It's super scuffed, but we're making progress.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I always say that, like, I'm gonna make 50 of something before it doesn't suck. So yeah. Did I start recording? Good, no. I think I can play it here too. Okay. Oh, they even give you recommendeds in the bottom. That's cool. All right. Ready when you are. Oh, I think we might have lost you again. Let's see.
Okay. Really?
Yeah. Okay, you're back now. It's coming in and out. Yeah.
My connection just coming in and out.
Yeah. Maybe kill your video as well. Your video stream.
Yeah.
On Discord. Discord
And
used to be super lean. It's super fucking like
I'll
cumbersome.
try to just reset things for a second.
I see. That's a good point. Let me see if I can change the text to Montserrat. That would be far superior. I can do Montserrat.
Monsterrat.
Bold. Yes, Montserrat bold. There we go, extra bold. This is so much more legible. And then I'll do the capitalizations and space. so people can actually find you. And then lower the size of that. What's fun is that on there's a cool little text trick. If you use super low resolution, you can actually make a shadow, a drop shadow, for the text. But anyway, that's totally irrelevant. All right,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Eclipse or Reacts, yeah.
Yeah, that's why M01, that's why we're using Watch Together. So like he can control it and then he doesn't have to like stream it or do anything, because if he's streaming the video and then streaming himself on Discord, it makes it extra cumbersome. So are you with me still?
Yes.
Go. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you're here. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Color green, green.
Yeah, I can see that, Darcy. Yeah, legibility is huge. I'm actually going to outline it as well, just so it's more legible.
Well, I've rebranded to Eclipse Beatbox, so
Oh, that's right.
in a way that doesn't matter anymore.
I will fix that then. Line says 20. Color Blake. Let's see how that looks. It's a little thick there, with 2 C's.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, that should fix that. Yeah, that's way more legible. Let's keep the shadow there. Okay. You can hit the play button, and we're good.
Okay. I don't know if this one would be a video because you'd already done this. So
Well, it's different if we talk about it in depth.
yeah. I
So
guess.
like it's okay.
I just don't know how much I need to add, but want to or have to add.
Like I don't know. I think that us talking about it together makes it different. But like,
We'll play it by ear.
yeah, we'll play it by ear. Again, no, I have no shame. So, you know, and I can probably trying to think of a way to get it to you. I can probably like do some color correction or like chop it up in a different way. It doesn't need to be remarkably different. That way you have it. All right, let's go.
Good. Let's go. Like start or
Yeah, hit that button.
okay.
Oh, I'm not getting any sound. Here, can you pause it for a second? There we go. That is unfortunate. That would be why.
Oh, and luxury, chitty ching ching, goodbye, anything, thing like, oh, ain't got a green, 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 3 degrees below, make it hot for me.
Man, that snare is so good.
Spit snare.
Yeah.
TNG snare. I can only do it with my top lip over instead of bottom lip.
I see what you're saying with the strength of the kick. Ooh.
sort of loses it there a bit, but
Yeah, I mean it's a one take live, but yeah.
I think this was near the end of their recording day as well. I think they recorded it a few times beforehand.
Can we talk about that technique really fast? Can we pause it there?
Oh, God.
That
It's so nasty because he's doing an outward snare, but doing inward bass. He's going in between those.
it seems like there's a lot of like is almost like he's hyperventilating, like a quick exhale and
like
inhale.
switch of the diaphragm, like
No, just like his breathing. Like I get the sense that he's going like in and out, like to do that.
It could be that he's doing the inward bass through his nose when he does the outward snares, or it could be that he completely switches.
I don't know if it's possible to breathe through one orifice because they're inherently connected. I don't know. Like I've been wrong about this stuff before. Well, I can look it up later, but like, it's just nutty.
Also, when he's doing the quick snares, like the quick. Let's see how many. God, it's. Yeah, I saw Dila's video on it, and he mentioned that there's no bass, but like, I mean, when listening to it, it's like. It could just be reverb that makes it seem like there is, but.
Okay, yeah, I can hear the verb, I guess. Yeah.
Oh God,
It's still nasty.
It's such a,
like I don't care if there's no reverb or there is reverb. It's just so nuts. Yeah. It's the pace of it. It's like this is actually one of the elements of like Reap's one that I really, really like, and what I like about this so much. It's so clean. Right? It's not the sound itself, it's how insanely crisp he's like it's on time. It's very ergonomic, it's very efficient, and it's super fast, and it's like not a big deal. Right? Like he's just executing it like crazy.
The thing is about the separation of like breathing in through your nose and you would be doing an outward sound with your mouth. You're not breathing in and out at the same time. There are some sounds that you can do with your mouth that don't require air. You can do like you can be breathing inwards while doing like a
consonant,
breathing in, and you're breathing in that entire time, but you're still being able to do an outward like kick or a snare.
Yeah, that's interesting. You'd have to build up pressure a certain way. I guess you can hold the air in your mouth.
Yeah, and then release it.
Stuff. Yeah, that's a crazy coordination. I didn't even think about that.
So that's how a lot of percussion and bass lines are done at the same time. Is doing some things nasally, and then using the air in your mouth to do things without the use of your air. I don't know.
Yeah. It's kind of nutty. This is my entrance into trying to figure out some of this stuff is insanity. Like I just would have never thought. Like I have a degree in this. And it's like I listen to this and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I don't know. It's really 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 cool." So, yeah, I didn't even think about that's how
humming and doing kicks, but also you would be able to do inward and doing kicks as well. Because I mean, it's not as impressive if you're going to do outward percussive sounds and an outward bass, but it really becomes complex when you're doing an inward bass sound and outward percussissive sounds.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, I guess.
That used to be a super big deal until like in 2017. Like that's where Skiller and Alem won is because they do crazy stuff that allows them to make a lot of noises at once, and I feel like that's coming back. With who's the guy that it was D'Lo versus somebody else, and like it was just it was nutty. I don't know. Yeah, if we can
Zeka?
yes,
Kickback
Zeka.
battle?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I love Zeka so much.
Yeah, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It's
I
naughty.
personally think he should have won that just because I like his musicality, honestly.
Yeah,
More than D'Lo's, but
I think like with D'Lo again, it's like this. I think it's this worshiping. I shouldn't say worship. That's a really negative connotation. It's the celebration of diversity of sound that I think people really like about D'Lo. I could be wrong, but I think that's the impression that I get, and that's where he beats people. I can't think of another beatboxer who can make more noises. That's not. I don't have a broad repertoire, so it's not an impressive statement. But anyway,
there are so many noises that I haven't heard anyone do the. I mean, you're not going to really know what this is when I'm talking about it, but the zipper sort of lip roll that he does where it's super high pitched. I've never heard anyone do that before. There are a lot of noises that I just take for granted with D'Lo.
yeah,
But when you sit back and like actually look at it, you're like, damn, yeah, no one else can do that. He was really pioneering, and
yeah.
I see him as such of like a legend already that I like am not as impressed by him, which is just myself being biased.
No, I think that's fair. Like as you're exposed to things, like they become normalized. But that's where I think like removing there's always that fun moment with a beatboxer where you're like, what? And then you begin to understand it, and that's like it ruins the initial like, oh. But I think that when you look at like the technical execution, I don't think that ever gets old. Because like we can appreciate like it's not just the sound that Inertia is making here. It's how damn clean it is. Like I highly doubt anybody who can make this sound. I challenge you to go on, put a metronome on, and do it like this, and have it be as clean. Another again, like I paid attention like a long time ago. Like when Alem tried to do "You Can't Roll Like This." Better than 99% of the people who would ever try that, but it was not better than Napalm at all. So
Yeah.
anyway, sound design, it's so good. Lots of other people have a ton of sounds, but they can't mix them in a pleasing way. Yeah, 100%.
I feel like in that battle though, I preferred Zeka's sound design to D'Lo's, but I mean, it could just be preference.
Yeah, I think it's preference at that point. I think musically, I really, really, really enjoyed Zeka, but like, I also think that like probably the judges know way more than we do about like execution and stuff like that, right? Because like the judges are all like previous winners, right?
Most of them, yeah. I mean, not GBB winners, but
yeah,
there are. That comment got held for review. Awoke is disgusting.
Yeah.
Because
I let it.
Disgusting in a good way.
Yeah, very much so. I need to put the chat on stream. Let me do that real quick because like this video is slogging a little bit, which is fine. The format is what's important, and we're working on that. I don't make videos. I make workflow.
I can recognize D'Lo was better in that battle like with his technicality, but I just liked Zeka's pieces just musically more. More my style. Plus, I just feel I'm in Spain, but I think D'Lo won.
Pop out. I mean, this is always going to be the issue when you're like trying to make a competition out of art.
It's music. It's an art form. It's always going to be contentious.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard to judge like things based off technicality, because while something may be technically better, like should we judge it on that? Or like if you think this is technically better and should win because of that, but you're going to listen to this other person's music more afterwards, then like
I think the let me zoom this in a little bit and then crop it. I think art benefits because this comes up with like cuisine a lot, right? Like the Michelin star system, and I think Grant Achatz had a really super good take on this. He's like one of the premier chefs. He's like super exciting, voted like #1, this, that, and the other thing. Geez, I really need to get Streamlabs made the chat stuff really easy, but like Streamlabs can go to hell.
Stitch is next, Galga.
Yeah. Let me put the, and then I'll do this. There we go. Cool. All right, now I can see chat. All right, let me hit the play button. Yeah,
I was just talking to the chat with it was similar for me, that kickback with as the loop kickback, where I wanted Zek to win and I wanted Robin to win, but I can sort of understand why the other person might win. With the loop kickbacks, I feel like Robin did a better job throughout the entire competition, but he kind of was slightly weaker in the finals, so I can understand it going to Christoph, but I'm kind of disappointed because I'm like, well, yes, the other person deserves to win, but I really wanted this person to win because he really made me love him throughout the competition.
Yeah, I feel like it is tough. And what sucks is like careers are sometimes made or broken based off these competitions, but that they happen at all, I think, is a super positive thing. And ultimately, I think it's a good thing in that it pushes people. People push themselves to be better, and I think that ultimately does make for better art. But yeah, I think it's always going to be hard to make like music or art or anything like that a competition. There's going to be some like, you know, because there's definitely just some things that are subjective.
Scott Jackson, the announcer for Grand Beatbox Battle and some other stuff, mentioned during the live streams and stuff that the whole point of these is not like, it shouldn't be about who wins this certain battle, that you shouldn't like it's just the competition is made to bring attention to those people's music,
so
you can listen to them. It's not, don't put so much importance on the competitions, and like listen to these people's music, not just the competitions, because that's what
no 100 really I agree, like that's what's beautiful about it, and that's where like people like Poponi have like SAR versus MB14 has like I think last time I checked it was 45 million. It's hard to argue that that's like, I don't think you can make an argument that that's a negative thing, right? Like I think you'd lose that one like 100% of the time. Let me lower that. Voila, that should be better on the chat. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, anyway. I think ultimately it's a super positive thing.
What did you change just there? Because your voice is different to me now. It's like doubled, sort of.
I will fix that now.
You sound like a badass Decepticon or something.
Okay. Hold on. All right, there we go. I'm trying to run Ableton effects. All right, that should have changed it, right? Does that sound better?
It's still, I wonder if it sounds the same
Hold on.
on the stream.
It probably does. There we go. That should rectify that in its entirety. It was just I'm trying to learn how.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I'm trying to learn to run Ableton
Now it sounds
sounds.
good.
Yeah. I have to. There's a way to like shut off monitoring on the 6i6, but I don't know how to do it just quite yet. Anyway, Optimus Prime, yeah. Heard some PC noise. Yeah, that was me switching between my PCs. I have a two stream setup or two PC setup. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to cut this one down, which is fine. This is super valuable to me. Should we just continue with inertia because it's sick?
Like finish the video,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
So that would be-
this switch
that would-
here is interesting. That there.
Yeah, so like that would be vibration bass, right? Is that what that is?
Not quite. It's just a tight throat bass.
Okay. That's like, yeah, I've been trying to find out the difference between that. But yeah, I think what's cool is how he's flipping, because there's a limit to how lax your folds can be when you go up. And so like flipping into falsetto or like a regular kind of like singing voice. And it actually, I think it works. Like, I think it's actually more interesting because of that. But I'm really impressed. Like people like Codfish, and clearly Inertia can bring up throat bass really high, which is very challenging. Specifically for me too, because like I have a habit of when I want to go up, I tilt my larynx, my thyroid cartilage, which stretches out the folds, which is the antithesis of what you want in a throat bass. You want like the folds to be all floppy, which is why the singing style in beatbox is usually very like speech level, close up to the microphone, gentle kind of singing. There's more than that's one reason. There's multiple reasons why it's smarter to do it that way. But anyway, it's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched you talked about that in your Gene and Codfish video on the musicality and the singing, that talking about Gene singing.
Yeah.
Remix or Inertia.
Yeah. No, yeah. Gene is definitely one of my favorites. Yeah, his whole album, actually, I listened to his whole album. There's one thing he does it with a guitar. I forget what the tune is. It's super, super sick. I'll just bring it up like super quick. I should probably just put it on the watch together so you can hear it too. Gene Shinozaki. There we go. Never Gonna Give You Up. Well, Never Give Up. Not Never Gonna Give You Up. Although I would love a beatbox cover. Yeah. I'd love some like let me get Rick rolled, please. That is my favorite, by far my favorite. Am I still live? I think so. Yeah. Okay. The chat didn't update as well. There we go. I had to scroll. Oh yeah, the Gene. Yeah, this is like a super, like this to me is why I love beatboxing. Is this sort of a thing? Oh, you nice. You have a playlist to go. Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let me just play a split of this, like, so I don't get copyright, but this is definitely one of my favorite examples of musicianship and beatboxing.
to the morning
I'd also
sun.
like
Things I dreamt up, I cannot recall.
Sorry, what were you saying?
there's a video. The Japanese beatbox champion Shima Ren does beatboxing while playing the piano. It's really dope. Not very many views on it, but
Yeah. There's an EDM artist that plays everything live, and like it feels like at a certain point, like it's just the music, like musicians love it, and no one else cares. It's just gonna happen. But yeah, sorry, you can put on Stitch. Let me just make a new.
I'll be back
video.
in a sec. I have a small bladder.
Sure. Let me check out how the last one ended. Does it with a guitar. I forget what the tune is. It's super sick. Quality is god awful. Let me check on my output. That should be fine. Wow, I don't know why that's got a lot of artifacts on it for no reason. Yeah, that's weird. Anyway. Is what it is. I don't think anyone really cares that much. Yeah, Gene is super sick, I think, as a musician. Dillips BBU? We'll probably have to do, I think we're gonna have to do some polls to kind of decide, because like if you all are tuning in, right, you should have a say in what's on the screen.
I haven't heard Dillips BBU, but I'm certain it's great. Dillip is one of those new school beatboxers that just has some of the craziest sounds. One of the most versatile zipper sounds, as well as other things. That's his main draw, I think.
Let me set up a poll with like what we got in the playlist, because yeah, eventually I want to move this to me working on some silly loops that I want to have. So we have Stitch, right?
Stitch. Yep.
Okay.
What were we talking about, by the way, that had artifacts? Was it the recording we just did?
Yeah, as the recording on
then
my
you check-
video. For some reason, it looks like it was done with lib like 265 instead of 264. I checked it. That's not the case, but for whatever reason, it looks super granular.
It's
let me just
it's
intro,
good
like-
that we did something you'd seen before, like first, so that you could see that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think this is just like a result of, I don't know. I think it's just like my monitor is very large, and 1080p can sometimes look like crap. Like I'm looking at my OBS, and it's also kind of, I could just increase the bit rate, but
Oh yes.
I should actually. That's what I
Snort.
should do.
Snort bass. Snort bass is another thing Dillip has. It's I think there was maybe some in Zeka's video that you saw, but it's sort of like an inward bass sort of sound, but it's nasally snort bass. Obviously so.
Oh, that's crazy. That is nutty.
I'm not great at it, but it's like, that sort of noise you can make with your noise, but controlling that.
Yeah.
And it's yet another inward sound, this time going through your nose, so you have to be really careful that your nose isn't full, so you don't go catapulting
Boogers, nozzles, yeah.
boogers into the back of your throat, like I have done.
Is there a Shogo one that's not GBB? It sucks that like.
Oh yes, I mean a lot on his channel.
Is he like copyright all of it? Because like it's hard to tell.
I
nowadays.
don't know. I'll look at my analytics.
Yeah, I
Watch.
should just like
Look at the videos I've reacted to of him.
yeah.
Um,
I have a script that I should use later on where I can download a bunch of clips, put them together, and then upload them, and that way I can see like who has what copyrighted.
this
I'm-
cover that you did doesn't have. Sorry, I'm just.
Mhm.
One of my favorites is "You're Gone." I'm looking for that right now.
Awoke Us
Shogo, you're-
Feel It. That was another one you got on here.
Yeah,
Woke.
yeah. "You're Gone" has a copyright claim on my video,
Okay, and that's Shogo.
but yeah, but there are certain. Yeah, I feel like a lot of Shogo stuff is copyrighted. So if you were to make a video on him, it would just have to be like just
The problem is just streaming it. It's not the copyright. I'm not worried about copyright claims on the video as much as I am just like, you know, the
yeah. Shogo is definitely a lot of my the most views I get are on Japanese creators. A lot of Japanese beatbox fans really love listening to Japanese creators.
I mean, that makes sense. I don't see a lot of representation. Maybe it's been different in recent years, but
a lot of the Japanese in different ways are sort of nationalistic, very prideful of Japan. So you're going to have a lot of Japanese people looking, just sort of standing their favorite beatboxers and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, USA, right? like we're pretty guilty of that too. So hold on. How do I look at the poll from this?
We have
one?
less of an idol culture, but
depends. I think it's like the problem with the United States is that like different states and different like there's a lot of different subcultures, almost to the point where like the way that the EU, and this is not a perfect metaphor, but the way that EU sees different countries within the EU is kind of how it's kind of how Americans view different states. Like if I went to Georgia, for example, like if I'm not giving ladies first, like I'm in trouble. And I've been in trouble. Like this is a specific example where, you know, I went to Georgia and I'm like, sandwiches, let me just go. And then someone's like, ladies first. And I was like, okay, all right. Anyway. But
yeah, someone mentioned Dan as a great musical beatboxer. I love his GBB wildcard. I haven't seen his BBU wildcard. I'm pretty sure you did one. People in the comments want to let me know if it's good or which one to use.
It looks like, yeah, Shogo and Stitch are both copywritten. Most of his stuff on Spotify too. Yeah. Well, you can publish your music without necessarily copywriting it. There are many options for that. Like the lowest tier of DistroKid doesn't give you that function, whereas like if you go to Lander and you go with Lander's distribution service, like that's just there. So, you know, but like if you're big, you know, it's a net positive thing because now those artists get a lot more money. It just sucks because you can't live stream this stuff now, which is the real loss, but you know, that is what it is. So I can't do Stitch if it's all copywritten or Shogo, which sucks. So I have to redo the poll.
Stitch is 100% a must-make video on, especially as a vocal coach or just a vocal specialist or whatever.
A lot of people on Stitch. Okay.
Yeah, he's very popular right now because his like you were talking about Lila Hathaway, right?
Yeah.
And her polyphonic, and you're like, oh, she's so dope. Just wait until you hear his polyphonic. It's insane. Yeah. And then also the 626 effect is bonkers. It's I'm gonna explain this to you how he does it. He swallows air like you're gonna do if you want to burp. You sort of, instead of inhaling air, you sort of like, and then you sort of swallow air. I don't know.
No, I get what you're saying.
You get
my
what
brother,
I'm
my
saying?
brother did that when he was a kid. He would inhale, exhale, burp. Yeah, exactly. That's the sound I heard growing up, and I was always envious because when you're 5, burp and fart noises are amazing. But now the age ceiling for that has gone up because we are basically watching a bunch of burp and fart noises, and it's amazing.
Hell yeah.
Like, no hate on it.
About it's 626 as well, but I'm pretty sure I have heard Stitch say that he knows a couple people that can also do 626. I haven't heard anyone else do 626. But yeah, he just lets the air, he traps the air sort of like in his throat, and then he vocalizes air through it and sort of opens up his throat. The way I understand it is it would sort of be like vocalizing a burp, like
Oh my god.
sort of like that.
I can appreciate. Hold on, let me add this we're talking about this because I think it's important.
But without the vibration of the burp.
Yeah.
So the burp is like but he sort of opens it up and sings through it.
And that's the inhale, exhale, burp sound with a whole lot of stuff thrown in it. I can see why people really treasure new sounds because that's sick. Like guys burping, vocalizing, and doing all this stuff. That is really, really cool. But that it's become like the number one factor in deciding who's good or who's not. I take issue with that, but it's undeniable that it's super cool. Like I don't think you can convincingly make a case against that.
And my example of how to do it, it sounds nothing like what it actually does. It doesn't sound like a burp while vocalizing. I was just using that as an example of, because he in his tutorial says that that's how you do it, and he says you need to be able to swallow air and keep it in your throat and then open up and sing through it, but I can't do it, so I just burped while vocalizing it.
I'm gonna go with Hexy right here. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We won't do Stitch, which is unfortunate, but I get it. Ultimately, like people put a lot of work into the music, and if they're not seeing any money, that's a problem.
Yeah. It's sad we can't do a live stream reacting to Stitch, but you should definitely, I'll send you videos that you can do off stream, or if we want to record something really quick off stream.
No, I want to keep the stream up.
I mean, not now.
Yeah. Eventually, yeah, for sure. Oh, by the way, and this is not coming up because I don't have the timers up on the other bot. I should link my Discord. I'm trying to spend a lot more time in voice chat every morning so that we can just like talk about beatboxing, because like that's a thing I want to know more about. So
yeah.
Let's see. Let me just link that. I should have that like a little bit more readily available. I switched from Streamlabs, so I don't have all my timers set up. Yeah, no, he's not gonna like. So I get what he's saying. Like, he's not gonna go for a copyright strike, which is smart. You don't like if someone makes music off of your shit. Like, the smartest thing to do is to leave it up and then claim it, so you get the money for somebody else's work that they've done. Like, I said that wrong. Like, reacting is insipid. Like, listen, I'm a reactor. Like, I try to make it like with the singers. I really try to break it up and talk point for point, and that I don't think is as insipid, because like I'm actually going with what I know. But beatbox reactions, I think on my channel, like I don't know a lot of this stuff, so it's just me freaking out and getting paid to do it. And I'm cool with that. But if a creator says that they're not cool with it, I get that, right? Like, give this man his bread. You know what I mean? He's earned it. He made the art, right? So.
I mean, he does reactions too, so he's fine with reactions to it. He just wants to make the money off of it.
Yeah,
He's,
he
okay
said
with
as
reactions.
much that he's okay with it going the other way around, so he's not being a hypocrite. Like,
Yeah. And to talk about this, videos aren't the best if you're gonna be constantly making videos on claimed videos, because you're not gonna be making money off of it, but doing a few that are just going to get you views and people to your channel, even if it's going to be claimed.
mm-hmm.
For example, with Stitch, I think that's one of the videos that is going to draw a lot of people to your channel. And and since you're a vocal coach, you can use your expertise and educate on it.
Mm-hmm. I have a script that I use to cut up. You know, I might want to reach out to Stitch, because like, he's going to find it. What I do to avoid copyright strikes from larger artists, or not copyright strikes, but claims, so that they get the AdSense, is I have a script, which I'll show you.
That's a good idea.
So you see,
I wonder if we can do the werewolf video.
Possibly. I just can't live stream it, but on the bottom.
No. This person just said, these timestamps in the werewolf top 10 drops video, that won't be, I don't think, Content ID live, and we can just see the examples of the 626 effect. He doesn't do the polyphonic in that, but
yeah.
Second.
Sure. Let me erase this one, this most recent one. But actually, no, I don't want to do that. I want to crop it out. So just because I'm so proud of it, and no one really cares, but I do. If you look at my bottom right corner and how that color changes, my script looks for that color to decide what is copyright content. So as I watch a video, I'm just using spacebar to start and stop it. And so the software picks up the red and then cuts it down to 7 seconds or shorter. And so that's how I make my videos super, super, super fast without getting copyright claimed. And we can try that. I'll make it a separate video so we don't get in a crappy situation. If you want to bring that up for the top 10, because like everyone voted for Stitch, I'd hate to just like not do that.
Yep. I just added it to the playlist, and I'll.
Dope. Still one of the sickest intros in all of YouTube. I just want to throw that out there. Yeah, I love the Swiss beatbox intro. I think it's super cool. Like that by itself is really rewarding.
It's hard to get the.
Yeah.
It's
like that little cough snare, exhale snare.
It's a bit of a throat whistle in there.
Yeah. All right. So right now we are looking at. I'm with Eclipse Beatbox, another reaction channel, and he is more knowledgeable about the art of fart than I am. I'm gonna get so much crap for that. People are gonna actually like take that seriously. But yeah, we're gonna look at the art of fart.
If you're a beatboxer and can't accept that you make a lot of fart noises, just they're fart noises, but they sound good. All right.
Yeah, it's like there's quality, right? There's levels to this. You know, there's your 5-year-old, and then there's the like crazy, insane things that people do, and it sounds super cool. There you go. And what is a fart? A fart is a sphincter closed and then letting out a gas. In the case of farts, the actual farting, that's methane, right? And then you have like a mixture of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide? I forget what
Yeah,
happens.
carbon
when you
dioxide.
Yeah, okay. Wow. Like, wow. Geez. But yeah, like exhale of like a combination of, right? And there are a lot of vocal techniques also that involve, like the vocal folds are a sphincter. So is basically farting the vocal folds. But anyway, I digress.
Yes. This is, I forget which one this is, but let's just click play. Get into this. Oh yes, here. Listen.
Whoa,
Yep.
that's crazy. That's super
Yes,
cool.
that is the 626. It sounds like it. I mean, a lot of beatboxers sound like they have an effect over them, but this
Yeah.
one especially just sounds like one of those like just samples that you put in.
Yeah, where you like telephone booth EQ it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It also sounds like
I'll
you
just
have
go
a distortion with that. Also, sorry, one second.
yeah. I'll pause.
Can you go to Alem's stank face? Because this deserves its own moment.
Well, I'll pause it on that.
Yeah. Right there. Right there.
Right.
Yeah. Like, come on. That's an excellent stank face. So anyway, yeah, we can continue. I just wanted to,
And that's a pro, and he's listening to something he's never heard in his life,
yeah.
and he's like, "God damn, oh, that's nasty."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm pretty. I've seen Stitch talk about that. Watching back, his reaction was like meant a lot to him to see one of the best in beatboxing have a reaction like that to his beatbox was just so validating.
I love that about the beatbox community. There's a desire to lift up. I don't think it'll always stay this way. I hope it does, but I think like this culture of let's bring the community up, not necessarily individual artists. That's beautiful, and I hope it stays that way. That is not common in other communities. So like that's really like super cool. So yeah. Which reminds me we have to react to that kid eventually, but
Yes.
this video is going to be titled "The Art of Fart." That's what I'm gonna do.
I'll finish up this one, and then there's another clip near the end of this video.
Sure. Give me 1 second. Sorry.
Oh.
I have a script that moves my files. I apologize. So move files. Boosh. Okay, they're all moved. We can now record another video. Sweet. I love my scripts. They make life so much better. Let's see. Okay. Go for it.
Have you ever used the pause function on OBS?
I don't use that. Let me I don't use that because I use start and stop recording. Pausing is great. It's like a great function, but it came out later when I already had a habit of a different workflow. What I do now is I start and stop, and then I have CMD commands, like Windows CMD commands, bound to certain hotkeys, so that I just hit a hotkey, and the script, it triggers a Python command, which just kills the most recent recording if I don't like it. And I think that has more utility than the pause and because like I can like just, a portion of the video I can just kill. Where start and stopping doesn't do that. Anyway.
Yeah, I personally hotkeyed the pause key to my caps lock since it has a little light on it when it's on and off, so nice. I could just look at that as well.
Yeah. Production tricks. I went down that rabbit hole, and I'm so happy I did. And I'm happy I learned Python. Like, I have a degree in singing. I'm not like privy to those sorts of things, but I am happy that I learned it, and it took me 3 years to really make it useful. But anyway, All right. Let's go
Do
back
we
to
want to finish up this video?
Yeah. Let's go back to the art of fart.
Okay. Where do you want to start? In the clip, do you want to watch the clip again, or?
Hold on a second. Yeah, we can just hit the button, and we'll we'll just hit the button. Oh, you have to use yeah, good. All right.
Are you ready?
Yep. Hold on. 1 second. Yeah, go for it.
I'm getting conflicting messages.
Go for it. Hit the button. Yeah, we're good.
I took the fade up. I took the fade up.
I mean, I'm okay with it. Like, it's really sick. I wonder, and I'm interested in any, like, if the chat wants to also chime in on this. Why, like, would it be considered like dirty or cheating for someone to just openly admit that they use Ableton to like get these sounds? It seems like, from like, you know, someone who's new, who's basically like an outsider looking in for the first few times, it seems bizarre to me to go through this much effort to not use just like effects. And to be fair, I mean that the origins of beatboxing are basically like hip hop, but without a budget for drums, and that was the origin of beatboxing to begin with, which is kind of amazing and cool. But I just like, would you all like hate to hear someone like deliberately using effects? And you're welcome to answer this as well, Eclipse.
Yeah. I mean, that's obviously frowned upon. If you're passing it off as.
Oh yeah, if it's disingenuous, if it's a lie,
if
that's gross. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, 100%.
But something like I'm just trying to remember his name. He's on TikTok, and I think he was on Vine or something. The black guy beatboxer. Sorry, I don't know how else to describe him. He did like a Tetris thing. He used like a vocoder app.
Okay. Let's get that. Can we find that? Because I don't want to just leave it at that. like
yeah.
Let's not just leave it as that the description being black beatboxer on TikTok. Let's actually get this man. Let's not. Yeah.
I was just trying to get.
No, I know. I've been there, and
yeah.
yeah, I get it.
Race is just it's you can't ignore it. It's
well, like when you don't have descriptors otherwise, like, but like let's not stop there. I think we're just like, yeah, the black boxer on TikTok. Like, that's probably not a good idea.
Verblace.
Terrablaze? Can you throw up the link in? Oh, Terrablaze is in like it's bad.
Verbal Ace.
Okay, Verbal Ace. Awesome. Let's.
The interesting thing about using that in beatbox is there's a surprising lack of like African or African American beatboxers.
So
there's
I
Inertia
actually,
and there's CTB and there's.
I want to challenge that. Actually, I want to push back on that because, and this is a topic I think that's probably. I don't want to spend too much time about this because I think there are better people to talk about it than us. But the origins of beatbox are exactly the location where the origins of hip hop are. Like, so that was the Bronx.
Yeah.
So there's
it started out that way, but it's interesting to me now that it's sort of like because it became sort of popular in Europe.
In Europe, yeah,
which are and more popularized there, and so
I think it's the equivalent of like Elvis being popular overseas, and then we got the British invasion. But there are tons of beatboxer communities that are not represented on social media. So I want to be very wary of, like, I think that the Eurocentric it's not intentional. It's just that that's where Paponi is. That's where all the people who started to really document this process like exist. And so inherently, I think it's been difficult to capture a little bit more of a widespread representation. But I'm hesitant to say it just doesn't exist. I don't think it's I don't want to go there. But let's bring
I
up
mean,
the.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist.
No.
I'm just saying
I know, but like like we got to
I'd love to
clarify
have
all
more
of these things.
representation.
Yeah. Let's bring up that TikTok video. Can you actually on Watch Together? I'm curious. Can we add that?
I have the linked. What?
Can you add it to Watch Together? I don't know if you can add TikTok.
No,
Oh, you
I
can.
found it on YouTube.
Okay, you found it on YouTube. Good. Okay. Do you have that queued up?
I'm adding it here.
Sweet.
And bam. Bam.
I love this. This is sick. I love that.
That
Like,
Yeah.
so let me get to the name of this individual on the text shout out. What's his, it's Verbal Bass? Verbal Ace.
Verbal Ace.
There we go. With AS. And this is the man's TikTok. So yeah. Go check this man out on TikTok. This is incredible. What I love about this is I actually feel like I can talk more about this because this is a lot of using vowels as filters.
Yeah.
But like he's like doing a lot. The pitch variation is really exciting. It's really cool.
Yeah, pitching it up and down while moving your mouth to sort of complement that, and very slowly as well, so like a very slow filter.
Yeah, it was like over
is-
the course of a phrase, which I don't think we hear that often. Like that's really smart to do it over the length of a phrase. The other thing I noticed too is like, so the same resonance he's getting from throat bass, he's getting from the cluck right there. Because his throat bass is so resonant because of his vowels and really, really great breath. I think we're getting a lot of that too on some of those clucks, if we can maybe find that specifically. 'Cause I think
Where was it? Like
here,
a
we'll hear it. Keep going. I don't.
I don't know where. Like the end of the clicks.
Yeah, like how they have their own resonance. That the clucks. That's so sick.
Like the
Yeah, the little clucks. Like,
clicks.
yeah.
Yeah, and so the thing about this video is like, I mean, he's not passing it off as, oh, this is real, like my actual voice is able to be like, my throat bass is polyphonic or whatever, because he has this effect over his voice, over his throat bass. And so you see a lot of the comments like, oh, it's crazy that he can do all those notes at once. And like a lot of people thought that it was real and not using an effect. And so that's sort of an example of an effect being used. And some people think it's real.
Okay. So this is actually interesting because I actually thought about doing this for myself. There's a software called Doubler, not sponsored, but I'll take your money, Doubler, if you're watching. Doubler 2, you can actually just use a dynamic mic, and you can control MIDI parameters. And one of the ways you can control MIDI parameters is by using different vowels. So like one of the problems that I have with throat bass right now is I would love to add effects, right? Like I would love to add like an Ableton resonator to that, and like distortion and compression. But the problem with that is that the second you do that, filtering with vowels becomes like stupid. Like you're not going to get any filtering because like all the frequencies that you're producing anyway are just getting squashed, and you know, you're not going to get any filtering. So you can do that with doublers. You can control the different filters with different vowels, which is super cool. So I'm like saving up for that. But it's nice to know this exists too.
He's doing all the like gradual filters in real time, but he just has this over the top of his whole recording that everything's going to be have this chord with it.
Yeah.
Be vocalized.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's super cool. And I feel like that's where looping is going to go. I don't know. It like back to the point of like, it's really cool and people don't need effects to do this stuff. But as far as music making is concerned, that seems a little asinine. But like for beatboxing competitions, for people that are like basically pushing the limits of what the human voice can do, I can understand why people would get upset if that gets celebrated in like solo competition. But yeah.
Someone just mentioned in the comments, there's this guy on TikTok, Marcus Perez. He is just sort of recently getting into like the greater beatbox community. You can see him sometimes in comments and stuff, but his main presence is on TikTok, and he has one of the most insane throat basses of anyone. Like, and he doesn't even have any videos like battling on a stage or anything.
Yeah. I would like to see more, like when I look at some people's YouTube channels who are super sick, like I don't see enough of like them posting. But I mean, that's a different issue entirely, but this is dope. All right. That's going to be the Art of Fart video, I think. Boosh. This is the meta, by the way, y'all who are watching. If you want to be a content creator, this is exactly how to do it. Especially with like having someone on, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to be entertaining the entire time, so that you can stream for 8 hours. It's the equivalent of basically, you know, playing a video game, because then the video game can be interesting when there's silence.
I love being able to bounce off someone.
It's super. It's huge. It makes such a difference. Yeah, 100%. All right. I have 3 videos today. That's good.
I pulled up in because people are bringing up Marcus Perez as his throat bass, so I have next. I'll just pull it up right now.
Sure.
His it's a compilation of his TikToks.
All right.
I wonder if there is another video which is like 2021 compilation, so you can get
Let me change the text.
some
for
of
the
his newer
show.
stuff.
What's the name of this person?
Marcus. Well, you can see.
Yeah. Okay. The 3 A's. TikTok,
Well, also
right?
in the parentheses, you can see Marcus Perez.
Yeah, Marcus Perez. It's funny. I have my screen to the right is where like I have a lot of the monitoring for the production of this stream, and like my head is now like my neck hurts. like it's rough right now. Let me get this corrected here. Okay. And then I'll bring the blur.
I might replace the video with this one because it's more recent.
Sure.
So I'm pretty sure it includes all the ones it does in that video and some new ones. It does have this annoying
like stop
like
and start thing.
TikTok, ultimate TikTok stuff. But
All right, I'm good. I'm good when you're good.
yep. Like to start, or
Yeah.
can you just do the starting and stopping of the? Because
Oh, yeah.
it's your
Yeah, that makes sense.
it's your video.
Yeah.
'cause
That makes sense.
you know when things are recording and stuff. So
100%.
I will pause it if I want to interject. but
Gotcha.
You
That
should
makes more sense.
you should
All right.
generally control it since it's your
percent.
video. Your recording and stuff.
Yeah, I forget I have to click it on the thing. What is up, everybody? This is your chronically Caucasian vocal analyst, and we're going to be listening to Marcus Perez. I have his TikTok in the bottom left corner here. Give this man some love. Let's go into it.
Wobble, wobble. Wobble, wobble. Wobble, wobble. Wobble, wobble.
That's really sick.
Levels.
That's sick. Like, can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
That change, it feels like he did more than just change the pitch to go lower. Am I correct on that? Like, he didn't just go. He went. Like, there's some depth that he added that I don't think is just a matter of adding pitch. Or
Yeah, there is, with any vocal technique, like there's ways that you can change, like how far your jaw is out, or different
True,
things to like be able to hit lower notes.
Yeah,
And there are ways to be able to hit higher notes as well by changing some things that aren't just squeezing your throat tighter.
Yeah, let me actually. There's some elements of this that I actually want to put on stream real quick for the benefit of others. Let me get because I have this explanation on my throat-based videos, and I want to bring it up here. Vocal tract. I should really have like a picture of this in my OBS scene. This is probably the most simplistic thing with the resolutions. Garbo. Yeah, okay, this will work. Can I save it as a not? Yeah, okay, good. It's a JPEG. Let me get this in here. My React stuff. It's just a good idea. There we go. And then I'll get the green PNG over that so I can do the things. Did I remove it? It looks like I did. Rip. Should probably move that shit here. Sorry, y'all. We're I want to get this right, because like teaching is a very important part of my channel. Even if people don't care about it, it's important to me. Because like the whole point behind this channel is that I was able to do what I do, and there's that toilet in the background. Yeah, buddy. But I'm able to do what I do because I had very, very generous teachers. So let me bring in audio export source here.
Disguise educating in like a fun way where it's like,
well, specifically for me,
I'm teaching you, but
specifically for me, what happened was I got voice lessons for free 5 days a week. Like
Damn,
that's what
that's a deal.
happened. Yeah, like she's good too. She used to sing for the San Francisco Opera House. And so like I had like a really strong education. I only learned about vowels in that situation, which is not
I had to
ideal,
work on
but-
my voice. I had to work on my voice teacher's farm for my singing lessons.
Yeah. That I love when there's that option, because a lot of, like if you want to get good, you do kind of want to start earlier. But that's when you don't have a lot of money. So, anyway, let's, so I want to get into this. This whole thing is the vocal track, right? Starting here, but although you do get sounds from underneath the vocal tract. I won't get into that right now. But what we're talking about right now is basically like you can do a couple things to get lower resonance and to maximize that. And it's pretty much all of it is about elongating the vocal tract. You can purse your lips. You can jut your jaw. Both of these things, first of all, don't jut your jaw when you're singing. Like, I can't emphasize that enough. That's just dumb. Not dumb, but like it's not ergonomic, right? If you're trying to do like a high note and you're jutting your chin forward, you're not doing yourself any favors. But this will increase the length of the vocal tract, which will give you lower resonance, because it literally makes your instrument louder without getting into like the physics of it. Just a violin versus a cello, right? You can hit the same note on each, but it will sound massively different. And the other way you can do this is you can lower your larynx. There are a couple ways to do that. But yeah, just so we have that as a reference point of what we're talking about. Also, I forgot to introduce you in this video.
Nah, whatever. I'm here.
Yeah. All right.
See my link in the description if you're interested.
Yeah. I have with me also Eclipse Reacts or Eclipse Beatboxing at this point. Yeah. And so link to his stuff down below. If you're interested in watching another reactor who knows a lot more about beatboxing than I do, which is, anyway, I'm going to hit the button. Ooh.
Oh my god, I love it so basic.
Can we pause for a second? Because like, this it's like, is it a V? It feels like it's almost like you're adjusting your lips to.
It's
like a whistle almost.
It's a vocalized lip oscillation.
Like that? Like you.
Yeah. I mean, just pause it when he has his lips pursed for the.
That. It's hard to time it. There we go. Okay, I see that. That's sick. This is one of the things that, like, to me is super impressive. Is like you're basically like. Like this is one of the things that's really cool about like Gene Shinozaki's home on that recording of that. It's just super cool. Like
Same thing.
Yeah.
Lip op. Yep.
Anyway, I just what a weird thing to think about doing. Like I want to know who's the guy who like just like sat down, screwed around enough, and was like, that sounds cool. Like
I mean, all sound is vibrations. So why not utilize anything that can make vibrations? Not your vocal cords aren't the only things that can make vibrations. You
but
have your
like
vocals, you have your lips, you have your tongue.
Like we have the beatbox community now to kind of push that, but like it's bizarre. It's just like I don't know. Like it clearly, I think there are just some people who really like making sounds. You know what I mean? They just like making noises with their face hole. And I think that just like that joy, I think, has contributed to a lot of development of different vocal techniques that I don't think would have been introduced otherwise.
I'm interested in doing some sort of like survey or something of like how many beatboxers have either ADHD or autistic or autism diagnoses or tendencies, because I feel like both of those seem to. I mean, I am diagnosed autistic, and I know from a lot of research that there are things that you tend to do which are just sort of like comfort things, little different sort of like tics. And beatboxing was sort of that for me, just being able to vocalize things, and that really what led me into beatboxing, just making noises all the time as sort of like comfort.
That's amazing. I love hearing that, because like that to me is like when art for art's sake, I'm not a big fan of. I used to be, but then I realized I think it's super pretentious. But art that helps people, that's the real stuff right there. So I'm happy for you, and that's awesome. To hear that.
Here, he says beatboxing helps me with my ADHD. Yeah. Especially with like, I mean, both autism and ADHD, there are those things that you can do. I mean, ADHD is seen as like a lack of focus, but I mean, it's lack of control of focus, really, because you can really focus on some things, but other things not so much. It's like why people don't get diagnoses for like ADHD, because their parents are like, well, he can focus so well when he's playing with Legos, but he just can't. Like, so he can't have ADHD because he can focus while doing this certain thing. But there are certain things that you can hyper focus on. And
I had to learn to focus, because like that also just takes practice, and so you wonder how much like the diagnosis is like. That's what, I mean, when I was growing up, that was like the ADHD as a diagnosis was like really controversial. I'm not sure if it is now. They might have a better metric to analyze that.
I mean, in a way, ADHD is at the same time underdiagnosed and overdiagnosed. It's sort of complicated because I don't know if you know, but like there's a study done where more people are diagnosed with ADHD in a classroom that has more students, just because the teacher can't attend to everyone's needs, and so it's just more people are going to be diagnosed with ADHD, even if they don't have it in a classroom that's bigger, rather than if it's a small like private classroom.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate statistic, especially in the United States. School funding is based entirely off of property taxes per zip code. So you can imagine how that works out. Just 1 second real quick. First of all, I want to save that video on its own, because that's awesome. I love that kind of conversation. I think that's important.
Same as you, Norden. I really love learning sounds. It's not so much the implementation into the beatboxing, it's just being able to do the sounds. I'm not very good at making beats with like the inward bass or it like an inward bass plus click roll, but I really just love that I'm able to do it, and it's so fun to just play around with.
I wanted to answer a question that someone asked.
Yes.
Before. Also, Winterfeld, don't worry, I've paid out the ass for voice lessons. That's why the Discord, by the way, if you join the Discord, I help people for free. If you just come in, like give me a recording, ask me what you need help with, and I try to help me for free, try to pay it forward. Someone asked about how do you know if your larynx is tilting. There are two different tilts. Let's see if I still have this. This is a crappy picture for this. Let me bring up. I want to be careful because, like, you know, I don't want that Chrome history coming up in my browser. No one needs to see that. Larynx. It's probably a good shot. I remember there's a couple of good ones there. Yeah, that's a good one. Not gonna. You need that for real? No, you don't. like, I don't want that happening. Good. This is the JPEG. That'll work. Yeah. There we go. Also, a cool production trick while we're waiting is putting MS Paint as an overlay, like just window capture it, but make the background green. So you can chroma key it and you can draw over things without having to pay for anything, which is like, I don't know. I never thought of that. I had to look that up.
That makes sense.
Okay. Okay, to answer the question here, so let me get the mouse over it. There we go. So there's a theory, there's some contention around this, but the idea behind belting is this cartilage at the lowest part of the larynx, which is right here, the cricoid cartilage, would tilt upwards like this. And by doing that, shortening and fattening the folds. As far as the answer of how to tell whether or not it's happening, you can... It's funny, I would make this content, but actually no one actually cares about the more technical aspects. It's just so fortunate. Where's Estel? Do I have not? Here we go. Still. Let's move that. Biersch. And then I'll move Estel. So, my belting is actually like garbage because I'm an opera singer and I learned it basically just for the sake of teaching it. You can find free spectrograms online. Academo has it. It's Academo. You can just Google search it, and it's the first one. Let me talk about the settings though, because the Academo settings are, if you don't know what like, it can be rough if you don't have the right settings. So let me just window capture that real quick to answer this question. Okay. So the way I do it is, there we go. So there's settings here. I turn the brightness low and I turn the color blue. Like if you don't do that, this is what it looks like. Doom. Oh, I need to allow it. Rip. Come on, allow. How do I allow it? Ah, there we go. Cool. All right. That should do it. Test. Ah, yeah. I ruined it all. Let me just open it in a different browser, I think. Doobie-doo. There we go. So you can see like how hard this is to just... And by the way, my mic is super clean. I've soundproofed most of my room. So this is what it looks like in a clean space, relatively clean. So there's just way too much information. Like if I have any background noise, like you can see all that noise in the background. So I definitely do low, which will sort out things a lot easier. And then I do blue because it's a lot more neutral against black. So I think that those settings are really important. But let me go back to my one that I paid too much money for. Yeah. Where did we go on this? What is going on? Where? What? Oh, right. Okay, switched it from Estel. That's what happened. All right, we're learning how to stream while we're live. Okay. So belting, the way that you can know if you're belting is the way that this is going to look. I have to stress, the best way to learn to belt is to exhale everything, because you don't actually exhale everything when you exhale everything. If you did, your lungs would collapse and you'd die. So The reason why I say exhale everything, belting can cause extreme damage. There's so much pressure buildup because the folds are so thick and fat, and they'll like, whoop, bam, and you get a vocal hemorrhage. And it's very common with belting. Belting is the #1 cause of vocal injury, though a big part of that is people try it without knowing what to do, so it's kind of a biased stat. Anywho, so we're going to exhale everything, and I'm going to hit the record button here.
I'll be back in a sec.
Sure. So exhale everything. Now the next part, and this is actually where I have a hard time. I'm gonna show you my upper back here, my traps, and I'll explain why this is really significant in a moment. You see how like shit my posture is right there? That's a bad thing. What's going on is that my scapula is going down and back. My traps are tight, and what that's gonna do is it's going to force the larynx and the tongue down. You kind of want a higher larynx when you do a belt, but also it's just really inefficient if all of your stuff is being pulled down, because these are really large muscles that are pulling these things down. There's a I think it's a tendon or muscle. It's at the bottom of the larynx and it attaches to the scapula. So when your back is going down and back like that, that's why. So you want to make sure that you're working on your posture. Posture is active. You don't assume a position, okay? The best way I would think to work on your posture, go do some jogging and a lot of stretching, because there's no way that you're going to isolate the whatever 200 something muscles that your body has, because each one affects the other, okay? So work on your posture through fitness, through exercise. That's what I'm doing. I just am lazy, so I haven't done it for a long time. So it's a lot in the hips for me. That's probably the best I'm going to get. Now I'm going to exhale everything. The third step is I'm going to pretend like I'm shouting across the street to like a friend. So, hey, Andy! And now let's look at the spectrogram here. That's actually one of my better belts. Don't go away! Oh, good. So let's turn paint on.
Another key, if you're sitting down, to have a straighter posture is to have your knees below your hips. So
yes, very true. That's a good one. Thank you.
If your chair can't like adjust, then maybe like sit on a pillow or something.
Yep. 100%. Let me, there we go. Let me maximize this a little bit so we can see it. So this is what a belt looks like. And actually, let me get the frequencies here. And I'll show you how remarkably different that is from classical singing. There we go. So it is, these little things are very bright. If you are working on belting, so even though I exhaled everything, this little static means that there was air leaking, which lowers the power. So in a weird way, like more power happens with less air, because you're not disturbing these like small little things. So this is a sign that you're using too much air, even though I exhaled everything. But that's why you got to be careful with it. Okay. The next thing is that, see how like even in volume all of this stuff is? That is what belt looks like. And there will be some bias towards here. Probably not when you start out. There's something called the aryepiglottic sphincter. Don't worry about it right now. If you don't contract it, this won't be as bright. And that's a huge quality of belt, is to add twang, is what it would be referenced more, like, you know, that's what people call it usually. So this is the cricoid cartilage tilting. And again, you can do the shouting across the street, but for the love of God, exhale everything, check your posture. Don't just do this haphazardly, because it can cause a lot of damage. And don't go high. Find out where you're starting to have trouble. That's the note you should work on. If there's even an ounce of tension, that's the note you work on. Because the same struggles that are happening in that note are going to happen on the higher note. So why are you going to why are you going to risk it? And then you have more vocal fatigue, so you can't practice as much. Anyway, I'm going to get off my pedestal. Let's talk about the other tilt, which is the thyroid cartilage tilt. which is more my jam. Let's get a note real quick.
And in terms of beatbox, if you're doing some sort of bass, make sure to not overdo it. If you feel any sort of like sensitivity, like after doing it for a while, probably don't keep practicing because you don't want to damage your only thing
Instrument that you don't
helps
get to
make
replace.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I on that note, actually, it's way more efficient to practice in short breaks. What you're trying to accomplish when you're practicing is you're wrapping neurons with a fatty tissue called myelin, and what that does is it speeds up the rate at which signals are passed through different neural pathways. And the way that myelin is built is you interrupt forgetting. It's not, oh, I did the thing, let me do it 100 more times. It's, oh, I did the thing, then stop doing the thing, and then come back and try to force the recollection of that thing. That, it's painful and it sucks, and you actually can't do it for as long, so it doesn't feel good, but it's way better. That's actually how you get better. Let's talk about the thyroid. And I'm so sorry, I'm not keeping up with chat, which is rough. So same thing here, posture, very little air, but there's less consequences to doing this. The way that a lot of people find the thyroid cartilage tilt, which let me get that actually up. Is this it? Yeah. Okay. The way that a lot of people find this, right? This is the big one. This is your thyroid cartilage. It's your Adam's apple. Unlike the cricoid, which you can tilt up, you can tilt the thyroid down. So and you can see that these are the vocal folds. Well, those are the false folds, but like the vocal folds are in here. So what happens is that because the vocal folds are attached to the back and to this, when you bring it down, your folds stretch out diagonally, which is why when anybody, I'll show the difference between tilted and untilted. It's very, very obvious, the sound. And then we'll talk about how to get to that point. There we go. So this is the sound. And let's pretend like I'm warmed up, which I'm not. Una amorosa del nostro tesoro. I'm not lowering my larynx, but it's good enough. So this is very different. Sorry.
When singing operatically like that, where are you directing sort of like the flow of air? Is it more like upward?
I don't think about it that way. I used to. Forward. Okay. I guess like super forward is what a lot of people would say. I don't think about it that way anymore. Instead, I will do put my fingers in front of my lips. And if I feel anything more than a gentle warmth, too much air. The other thing you can do is you can pinch your nose. If the sound changes, you're letting air go through your nasal passageways. That's not inherently a bad thing, but it will sound nasal, and it's not idiomatic of opera. It is idiomatic of like rock, punk, etc., right? But just so people are aware of that. So when I place the air, I don't think about that. A lot of people do though, and it helps them. And they think about placing it in the mask. Is
It's interesting because it did sound slightly nasally, but I'm guessing it's just your tonality. I
was actually I can explain this actually. It's that's the contraction of the aeroglottic sphincter. That's this. That's those frequencies. So that's why it sounds nasally. Watch what happens when I get some distance. Well, I have a freaking machine in front of me. I'll just turn to the side and restart. Una amorosa del nostro tesoro, un dolce storo. Anyway. Very different sound, yep.
So Winterfeld makes an interesting point. There are certain sounds in beatbox that are considered hollow sounds, sort of, or people say like it's like opening up your throat or something. So that's like if you slam your tongue down to the bottom of your mouth while having that sort of throat open. It's called a hollow clop. Like, could you hear that at all?
No. Try it again. Oh, wow, that is interesting.
Yeah. So with that, it's not only that you're slamming your tongue down to the bottom that makes that sound. It sort of sounds like your throat is hollow, which is why they call it hollow sounds. Like this is a hollow clop, and so that is, yeah, you do that in conjunction with that.
Sorry, apparently the link to the Discord Nightbot thing is expired, so let me just correct that. To answer the question, so the reason why the areoepiglottic sphincter is contracted a lot, specifically for operatic tenors, is because that's how you project over an orchestra. I think this is super interesting, so I'm going to self-indulge with this explanation, but let me first replace the timer for Discord link. Thought it was working, but let's see, invite people. No, it was expiring, never expire. That is a mistake. Boosh. Edit. Or okay, give me 1 second, spinning that. All right, cool. All right, let's finish the explanation here. So, and thank you, by the way, for covering me. Appreciate that. That helps a lot. So this is significantly diminished as I turn, because higher frequencies are not as, like, they're diffused and silenced a lot more easily. But when you're on a stage for opera, give me 1 second. There's a great picture of this. I just want to bring it up. Okay. Change this. And I'll answer the question that was initially, like, how do you tell if you're tilting? I swear I'll answer that. Okay. So this is the singer's foreman. So, and again, this is very particular to tenors, and this is how tenors can project over an orchestra. In opera, you have a clear line to the audience. There is nothing in front of you, right? There's no microphone, there's nothing. So your orchestra is in a pit and plays really loudly here. And so the only way that you're heard is through this. People think opera is loud because it's shouty. It is loud, like very loud. I was once next to a spinto soprano, and it was like being next to a rock concert speaker. And then if someone's like a true dramatic, you hear them like underneath concrete. Like, this shit gets loud, depending on who you are. But this, without this, you're never going to be as loud as like a really loud tuba, or at least like 3 French horns. You know what I mean? Like, the bigger the orchestration, like, you're not going to win that, no matter who you are, unless you're Lawrence Melchior or Flagstad. But anyway. Those are like super, super big Wagnerian voices. So how do you know if you're doing this? We're gonna skip the part where we talk about areoepiglottic sphincter and twang. It's not the scope of the thing, but that's just an interesting little fact. All right, so how do you know if your thyroid cartilage is tilted? Vibrato. That's how you know. you can tilt your thyroid cartilage and not have vibrato, but that is tension. The mistake that a lot of people make with vibrato is they think it's you singing when you're relaxed. That's not true. Vibrato happens because you tilt the thyroid cartilage, and these muscles are incredibly tiny. So as the pressure builds up, they sort of, move. And so that's what creates the vibrato. You can actually feel this. Ecco la casa, right? You can feel it doing its thing. So that is how you know. The way to find it, do a whimper sound on an NG, pretty high, but do it really gently, and that tends to facilitate it. But if you're beatboxing, don't do this for several reasons. If you are doing any throat bass, you need your folds to be super floppy. When you tilt the thyroid cartilage, they stretch out in a diagonal direction, so they're far less floppy. So if you I cannot bring easily my throat bass very high. It's uncomfortable because I'm in the habit of doing that because I've done it for 15 years. But anyway, I hope that answers your question. I took way too long to answer that because I'm
I imagine it is nice. It's not only applicable to operatic singing. I'm sure there are sounds. I noticed. I said with the hollow sound. There are certain sounds that it is useful to know that for.
Can I show what's happening when you do inward bass? I can show you what I was told, but I'm not. Let's go back to the anatomy of the larynx. Let me shut off that screen share real quick.
When you were showing the spectrogram or whatever, is that right? I don't know. That just came to mind. Is what it is?
The spectrogram?
Yeah. He asked that question when that was going, and you wouldn't be able to see it because I can do inward bass, but you can't. So
No,
you can't
I
record it
unfortunately.
into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what makes sense and what was mentioned was that this is what rattles. This is the epiglottis. It's not a very good shot, but the epiglottis, like when you swallow, the epiglottis covers your airways so that food doesn't go into the wrong space. And that makes sense to me because inward bass is so loud and deep. It would make sense that one of the largest things in the larynx is the epiglottis. And yeah, unfortunately, I can't show you on the spectrogram for the reasons that Eclipse mentions. But anyway, that's the theory behind it that I've been told. We got to do Zelfa's thingy, the bobbers, before we end because I'm going to forget otherwise. You know what I'm talking about?
I like how. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I like how this all stemmed from we're a minute into this video.
Are we just only a minute in? I thought we were more than that. The
one we were reacting to. No.
Oh my God! Yeah.
On the watch together.
Yeah. All right. We were talking about throat bass, and then how long was this aside? I don't even want to know.
30 minutes probably.
Probably. Okay. Let's finish that then. I might have closed the watch together. No, I did not. Cool. Let's get that going again.
Yeah.
Again, I just
start it whenever you're ready.
Yeah. I want to point this out because, again, like, this is probably the only thing I can speak on. He's so relaxed. He's so relaxed, and that makes a big difference. If I tighten, particularly like around my chest and neck, and I try to make like a loud sound, where's my piano? I don't have it. Whatever.
I mean, it's gonna sound like you're being strangled.
Yeah,
sort of.
it's not like immediately the depth just kind of vanishes if I use throat bass, right? Whereas, so it's not just relaxed. It's not like this. That's not what you do. You want good posture while you do it. I'm doing hip rotations now, which you can't see. I'm kind of glad that you can't see it because that would be weird. And like. You can kind of hear that when I'm tight, the low end kind of just evaporates. It might sound punchier, but you're not going to get the lows. And so why would you do a throat bass with tension? Because that's bass. Anyway.
I mean, if you're doing some sort of filter where you're going from that to like relaxing a bit,
Yeah.
and but not generally
Yeah.
is how you want to do it.
That's not what he's doing in this instance. Yeah. So this is one of my problems. Like with this is a pet peeve, and I will call it out every time I see it. All that concentration for such a simple beat. I challenge you to get this sound at this quality. That little cluck there, to what you were saying, like that hollow resonance.
Yeah.
That. And also the strength of the kick is really nice. But it's like, these are the
Are you
details.
talking about the water drop or not?
Yeah. Like this little, like he only gets it by like his soft palate is lifted, his tongue is forward, his jaw is relaxed. So the quality of that sound doesn't exist without impeccable technique and nuance. So you can call it simple. Yes, the beat itself is simple, but the sound quality is very specific, and you would not get there without like a lot of practice and good technique, for lack of a better word.
There's a lot that there's a lot that comes from resonance that some beatboxers don't really pay attention to. It's like you're making the same noise, but this person can sound so much better, and why they're just able to have more resonance because they're more practiced and understand the relaxation of it. And
the technique is more refined and more ergonomic. Yeah. There was a question I want to answer. Jaw forward. If you're having trouble with your jaw jutting forward, like we were saying, that's probably good in some instances, but probably not specifically for throat bass, I would imagine. But if you're having trouble with that, it's usually from this. Your body is compensating, because like if I have all of this hunched over posture and I try to do this, that's not comfortable, right? And then I'm going to struggle. My back is going to flare. All this kind of stuff happens. The body's very, very, very smart. If your jaw is jutting forward, it's because for your tension in other areas, the jaw is jutting forward and your head's jutting forward to balance you. So you can't treat the symptom. You have to treat the cause. Pigeon and child's pose are probably one of the better ways to do that, because it'll address the hips as well as the shoulders. So, pigeon.
It was mainly in reference to the epiglottis, how to not have your jaw jutting forward while relaxation of the epiglottis and stuff. So,
okay, that I think has the same answer.
Answer.
Yeah. but I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's the same answer. Anyway, just to kind of answer that question.
Yep.
The thing he's doing with his tongue.
Like the sipping of air. Like
Yeah, the sipping of air. It's so subtle, but that's really slick. Like, that's another instance of like, yeah, that's not hard to do, but to do it in this way, you have to be incredibly ergonomic to be able to do all of this stuff, because he's just sneaking it in there, right? It's not hard. That's not hard, but it's the way he controls his inhale is extremely gentle. And then, like, you have to be able to make these sounds and add power while being this relaxed and having this great posture. The quality of that sound and the mixing of these beats and where he's throwing it in is not easy. Whereas the sound itself is, but in context, it's not.
the end of that sound, the sipping sound.
Oops.
Yeah, we just clicked it at the same time.
Yeah.
Is the tongue hitting the roof of your mouth and blocking entrance of air.
Okay.
It can be done without the use of the lips as like a sucker punch. So you're breathing air in, and then you sort of suck the tongue to the top of your mouth, blocking the airflow.
Okay. Yeah, so you basically close off. You bring your tongue, the heel of your tongue backwards to close off the pharynx, which is the soft palate.
You can alternate the tongue blocking the airflow with the lips blocking the airflow to have sort of like a quick percussive, like.
Yeah, and again, like the consistency of that sound is quality is important. Like the quality of a sound matters. I don't think, like, I'm not satisfied when I hit a high note and it sounds like crap, but anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, just to throw that out there.
Yep.
This flow is really good.
Got great flow.
Yeah,
Listen to this.
that's so sick. That's sly. That's really cool. How does he get that?
It's the texture of that low note there was really great. I mean, it was a different sort of variation of his bass, and he just sort of opened his mouth more, opened everything up more, so there was less like slower vibration.
So like you would,
it's just a
in
bit
that instance, like,
variation.
I guess it's him retracting the false folds, like. Is that kind of it?
Someone saying it's chest bass. It's sort of yeah. It's his. I don't think that's vibration. Pretty sure.
That's so sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's chest bass. It's not vibration.
Switch.
Nice. That was really good. I love the switch to like the Roombaton, I think is what that's called. I want to talk about the singing though, because I can actually offer value here. That's earlier.
Oh my god.
The sounds are so So what he's doing is to be able to go higher, and we already mentioned this previously in the stream. You kind of have to do this when you're beatboxing. I mean, there are ways to quickly adjust, but you're making life harder for yourself. It's easiest just to kind of let your larynx go up like this. You just talk like this, really gentle, really high, and you can sing like this. And the thing he does in addition to that is there's not full vocal closure. So there's just this tiny bit of falsetto mixed in there, which helps him go even higher more comfortably. So a way you could do that is start high gently and kind of go up and down, and you'll train yourself with it. And that's really important because when you do throat bass, if you're going right to throat bass, right, you don't want your folds stretched out or thick or whatever. You want them floppy. And there's a couple of other reasons too. If you're singing with a lot of power and you put a consonant in front of it, like you want your P's and B's in beatboxing to be strong. But the problem is, hold it for a second, and you'll feel it. You'll feel like you're like, oh my god, like it's not comfortable. So do that and then try to sing. It's not going to work out. So by singing super lightly, you're not having a lot of pressure on the back of your mouth that would like cause this larynx thing to go down and mess up your singing. So those are the two reasons primarily why this is the way people sing in beatboxing. The exception is codfish, which I already did a video about, so I won't go into that. But anyway.
This next one we stopped right before is insane.
So slick.
Switch.
I immediately start moving.
Yeah, it's hard not to. Jeez, that's chest bass, right?
Dang, yeah.
That's so sick. I just want to, like, man, it's so nutty. I love this. Like, his musicianship and flow is, like, it's just so good. Like, all of these techniques that we're talking about, like obviously there's no struggle for him when he does them, but it's also like when you want to phrase really well, you don't want to get caught up in every little note, because if every note is important, then none of them are important, right? So you want to select where you want to give emphasis. And then additionally, he's thinking across the phrase. He's not right? Like he's thinking across the entire length of the phrase. And it's really musical and super, I love the vibe. Sick. Nice. Whoa. This was in a GBB, right? No, I'm pretty sure this was done in competition.
I mean,
Right?
maybe a similar routine, a similar flow, but he's never been to GBB.
I could have sworn I've heard this somewhere, but yeah, maybe I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. I love the
getting a
sound. Yeah.
Bit of deja vu.
Yeah, it's super
somewhere.
super slick. Nice.
Precise.
Yeah, super exact.
Here's the Voloco that Verbalace did.
Nice little drum bass. Nice.
Halftime.
Nice. Nice. I want to take a second though. Like, to me, that's the future of looping. Because the biggest problem with looping is how long it takes to create a harmony. Because you have to track one by one.
You know, yeah, there are definitely with like the Helix Line 6 and there are definitely some good harmonizers on second devices that are being used and really popular right now. You haven't seen a lot of the newer loop stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that.
Which we should definitely watch at some point, or on your own or whatever. But
I'm sure we'll get to that. This is like, I use Avox for this because I'm a dirty Antares user. But I love Antares. They make super high quality stuff, not just Autotune. Although I love Autotune too, because that's a different video. Let's get back to this. That's super cool. So that hollow, like this hollow sound, correct me if I'm wrong, this is like, you need to control your oral cavity, right? Like you need to space your mouth in a certain way, right?
Yeah, it's all about resonance, keeping everything super open so that it reverberates off different parts inside of your mouth to create that sort of resonance. Yeah. And
this seems like super consistent. Like this is, to me, this is like another case of like, yeah, you can do the sound, but how good is it? You know what I mean? Like this is really, really cool to me because it's like super resonant. Like it sounds like a tom drum. Like. Nice. That's super slick.
Dun 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 dun. Pause it for a second here. So you know how people will like flick their cheek and make like a water drop sound?
Yeah.
All that flick is doing is adding some sort of vibration into your mouth.
Yeah.
And so you don't actually need to do it like with a flick or just hitting your cheek. You can actually do it with like a click.
Yeah.
And do it that way. It is harder because you need to be able to have that resonance while doing the click. And sometimes people who, if you do the click, it's hard to get that resonance. But
yeah, I can. I forget what it's called. It's the agitator. I'll have to look that up. Whatever creates the sound.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I don't know. Agitator. Or
I think.
Like, you know, like someone's probably going to go in the comments like, that's not what it is. And that I appreciate. I don't mind being corrected when I'm wrong. But it's the well actuallys that I can't stand. Anyway. Nice. That's super good.
Texture of that bass gave me
Yeah,
chills.
right? That's so sick. The sound. Oh, well.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is
Script
What's a Brick
what?
Marcus.
I'm sorry. If you can beatbox this well, and then there's like a roll call in like class or like anything, this is absolutely how you should introduce yourself every single time. 100%. Because if you can do this, and it's the opportunity, why wouldn't you take it? It's so sick.
I hate my Wi-Fi. I swear my bills are way too high. My service cuts out all the time. Need a new internet provider. I am the best beatboxer on TikTok. TikTok.
Ooh. Jeez. He's so clean.
Such clean, consistent combos.
It's insane. That's bonkers.
And you can see he's recording with a lot of reverb and
Yeah. We could also just be in a reverberant space as well.
yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Is he's clearly recording somewhere.
Where it's like a
That has a
giant
lot of-
shower or something like that. Yeah.
Like a it looks like a stairwell or something.
Yeah. 100%. Jeez. So okay, this one I'm interested in.
Cannot do that.
Yeah. So this is
That's bad.
he's sucking in air and then the lips are coming in by themselves. My teeth touch. This is the fact that he's doing it so fast is obviously impressive, but I love the reason why this works, because this is actually the same reasoning behind how the vocal folds come together. This is called the Bernoulli effect. If you take two pieces of paper, you can even try this with your lips. Like if you take two pieces of paper and you blow through them, they don't part. They actually come together because you're removing the air pressure, and nature abhors a vacuum, right? So the pressure outside is greater than the pressure inside, and that creates that suction. So what he's doing here, he's not bringing his lips in intentionally. He's really relaxed, and then he's bringing the air. Boom, there's your sound. And I just think that's super cool because physics, and I'm a nerd.
They just get drawn together. You don't need to.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to. You
force
don't
them
need to
together.
do
Yeah.
anything. Just breathe. Ha! That's
If you want
cool.
to learn how to beatbox, just say banana. Banana. Banana.
Just that easy. Yep.
Yeah, right. No, 100%. That's like the pick up a pancake one.
Quit frontin' like you got it. I can tell that you ain't bout it. If I ask you, girl, I doubt it. You don't even know. You don't even know. You don't even know.
Flow on the
You
intro.
don't even know.
Yeah.
You don't.
So this is,
You don't even know.
he's saying this is from 2015?
Give you some. I imagine it was a Vine. He was a Vine star beforehand, so I guess
Sure.
this routine was a Vine, and then he recreated it on TikTok.
Got it. Okay.
You don't even know. You don't even know. You don't even know.
I love his flow. It's so easy to get into. You know what I mean? Like it's just good music.
You don't even know.
I need to hear him live with other beatboxers.
Oh yeah.
Do it. Friday. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And these are vines.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 3. Thriller night.
Demonetized.
Hey dog, what do you want? Yeah, I like to order number one.
I ain't got no type.
I'm super glad that TikTok became a thing. This used to be what YouTube was like. And then the watch time switch became a thing. And all of the short form amazingness, like look up 5-second films. It's amazing. Like that's old school YouTube. I'm old.
This guy's name is 60 Fits, I believe.
Okay.
Wave your hands out to
He does a lot of his own videos, right? He's specifically on Snapchat, right?
I don't know. I've only seen a couple of his YouTube videos.
Okay.
I
I
don't know
recognize
where
him,
he
I think.
does his main stuff.
Yeah.
Wave your hands out to side and clap like you don't care. I'm all about the bass. No trouble.
Ha! That's awesome. I'm super happy with that. Let's take a quick break and then finish up on the dudes, on the kiddos video.
Yeah.
As we made promises. This is going to be a super long video. It's going to be like, this might be over 30 minutes, but worth.
I mean, if you include everything, 80 Fits, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not moving. I didn't bring in the vocal explanations. I didn't film that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some water and some nuts so that my blood sugar is,
Pratiban.
Yeah. If you want to put stuff on that's like, let me change the window. So yeah, if you want to put stuff on that's like copyright free, just so, or like talk, you're welcome to do that. You can plug
Sure.
yourself, do the things.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to check me out, I haven't posted in a while, which I'm hoping to change soon. I just haven't been very yeah, the problem, Master Nice, is that Stitch's videos on his channel, he's copywriting, and that's fine. If you want to do a video on it, he'll just take the money from the video. But if you're doing a live stream, then it'll take the live stream down. So we're doing the video from Werewolf instead of the ones on his channel. But yeah, if you want to subscribe to me, you can click on my name in the description, and I hopefully will post soon. I'll cover the BBU stuff. I haven't seen much of it. I've seen Collard Greens, Stitches. I don't know, really not a lot. So. Yeah, and hopefully we'll do this again, because there are some things that I'd love for him to see that I can explain, like the science of how doubles voice. Yeah. Shogo stuff is copyrighted, which I do have Jasmine in the playlist, but we won't be able to watch that on stream. You can make a video on it, but yeah.
Turn up the music, turn up your face.
I want to show him Stitch.
Fuck that shit, no. I don't wanna fuck you, babe.
Kathy.
Slow it down with the fuck dancing.
5 seconds.
Surprised that was second.
House music activate.
Oh, that noise is so sick.
Kill him on with the motherfucking middle bash. Kill him on. Kill him on. With the kill him on with the motherfucking middle bash.
Thanks. Nice. Huh? We just listened.
Yeah, so my mic was muted, so like, I don't know, anyone saw was my face.
Turn up the music, turn up your.
I want you to just hear this guy's singing at Stitch's singing here. I also love this flip, sort of like a yodely thing.
That's sick.
I see tonight. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I see tonight.
Yeah, that's really some really cool like things he's doing for different kind of, for lack of a better word, textures. That flip into falsetto, he's ending it on an H sound and then glottal to stop it. And so when he flips it, it has that like nice airy hissy sound. And then he's using a lot of glottals to get that kind of percussion. And again, this style of singing is like you can't do what you would do in other genres. So this becomes like really clean. You can use falsetto in a way that you can't really use it in a lot of other genres. People think of like falsetto as a pejorative, and it's not. Literally, a lot of voice teachers call it the F word because everyone freaks out when you say it. Yeah.
Mhm.
The yodel thing is just,
Nape,
yeah.
nape,
It's
nape,
your
nape, 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 nape.
it's when your folds blow open from. It could be that like you're not. There's several ways to do it. You can use too much air. That's not how you want to do it. You want to use very little air, and then just let it flip. And so you don't. There's no like you're not adducting your folds. There's a combination of things, right? You can't. You do have some ability to approximate your folds, but then you do need air to close them. The way that falsetto happens where people think it's not such a great thing is when you use too much air and it blows open and you have no control. Instead, you want to use very little air so that your folds don't entirely adduct. And then you want to be really, really, really relaxed so that you're not bringing your folds together. And that's how the yodel ends up happening. It's really, really, really cool. Anyway, let's keep going.
That and yeah. Do you want to just watch other stuff while we get ready for Zelfons, or?
We can do Zelfons right now.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I just find beatboxing to be so nutty. Time for ASMR.
Nice one. I'm lamowing.
That's why people tune into the stream. It's for the quality humor, you know? Okay.
Yep.
Go for it. I'm muting myself so it's not nuts ASMR.
Are we putting this in the video? And you just eating nuts silently? Mr. Poing, we watched the his drop in Werewolf with the 626 like and so I kind of explained how he did it, but he'll also hear that when he reacts to his GBB wildcard and maybe his BBU, which I will make him watch.
Myself. I haven't been looking at the comments, and my apologies, y'all. The whole debate on the copyright thing, I think, is very straightforward. It is damn near impossible to make a living as a musician. Every high-level beatboxer right now is making React videos so they can get paid, basically.
Yeah.
Because it takes time to make music, and every algorithm on every platform rewards quantity. It is optimal on YouTube to upload 90 videos a month. What a lot of Twitch streamers are doing, because it's so easy to make videos when you're streaming, is they're making, they have like, there's one, I think Valkyrie has like 5 different YouTube channels, and they're all posting 3 times a day. Tim the Tap Man posts 270.
Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Valkyrie, yeah. Yeah, Tim the Tap Man uploads 270 videos a month on YouTube. So, like, when you make music, you just can't compete with that. Looping is probably the fastest way to make music because you're literally building tracks. And if someone does that, maybe they can do it, but then, like, who's looking for your shit is the problem, right?
I mean, there's also not just making videos, but live. You can make money with live streams, which some do as well. Make live streams,
Yeah,
content.
I see Dilo doing that a lot, which is smart.
There's also Hershey Claps streams on Twitch.
I guess to go back to, I guess,
Ace Ventura.
the idea of copyright stuff. I think it's reasonable to take that stance so that you can make a living. Like, I don't think that's that wrong. I don't think it should be a debate. Anyway, we've covered that a bunch already on this very stream.
I'd
so-
probably do the same thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If I went through all the trouble to make a bunch of music and that was what I wanted to do, I'm going to, at least I would take half. I would do the split thing probably because earned media, which is when someone talks about you without you initiating it, that can be positive or negative. Both get your name out there. But the concept is earned media, and it's the best marketing. It's word of mouth marketing. It's the best you can get. So I prefer, if I were in a situation like Stitch, I would do a split to encourage people to do that earned media. But Stitch is already well known, so he doesn't need that. So that's that. On Napalm streams, yeah. Codfish got big off of like beatboxing. SCS Go server.
I heard a potential way around like content ID is to like have your intro or outro like your own music, and then you copyright your own video and share the it's sort of a loophole. You share the revenue from the video through the copyright, your copyright holder and their copyright holder, even though you only used your own.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could just do a cover though. I mean, like at a certain point, an audience is just gonna be like, why? Like, I don't want to watch that shit, right? So I don't know. It is a workaround. I do it with a lot of my videos. If they get claimed, they end up being claimed as covers because I use so many segments of singers. Yeah. Nuts.
I'm nuts for beatbox. Yes. Yeah. I also love this flip. At the end, yeah. His name's Alfonso, so it's Alphon with an X at the beginning.
Put them up, put them up. 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 Put them up, put them up.
I think so. In the inward bass.
Yeah, that's
Really clean.
yeah.
Slow it down.
I think it's vibration bass, actually. So he's breathing out.
Yeah.
Last. Let's go. Thank you.
Every time, like I hear someone this young kill it, it's like,
Hi guys, my name is Shogo. This is my
it's
solo work for the Glenby Books Battle Tour.
it's nutty, and it makes me like regret not practicing harder at a younger age. I'll have to edit the. You were right. The microphone was muted at the beginning. I caught it later, but I'm gonna have to redo the intro. I will say I don't want to put this in the video because I don't want people to I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Like, kid's super talented, but this is one of those examples of, I think, like, the sounds are the priority in this performance and not necessarily like he's
The
good.
composition?
Yeah, he's good in that he's like mostly on time, but he's not locked in. Like, his internal metronome is not there yet, but it's like hard to be. Then this is why I don't want to put it in the video. Is like, how old is he? What is he, like 14?
He's 14.
Yeah, it's like
14.
It's like
So
like my internal metronome at 14 was trying to play Warcraft 3. like I wasn't doing any of this. So like, kid's super sick, but it's just one of those things, like, I feel like sometimes we've talked again a lot about this. It's just like sometimes that stuff gets lost. But yeah,
I mean,
no,
it's a kind of disparity you're gonna notice in like relativity to like pro beatboxers. But I mean, taking into consideration his age and everything, it's like this is an incredibly high level for that age, and it's not something that you can't polish.
yeah, absolutely. And I
And-
see the effort into that too. Like, it's not like his rhythm is like Jack.
Yeah.
It's like he's got
It's
it.
it's very
yeah.
minimal, the amount of work he needs to get it much better.
I think when D'Lo was losing, like I think he had lost, like, he was the runner up in like 2 GBBs in a row. I might be making that up. It might have been just one, but that was the thing that like was what people were nitpicking on, was like his timing, because he would like slip here and there, and if you're like against like Napalm, like, that's not going to fly, at least in a competitive situation. And then he fixed it, and now he's D'Lo. So
If you ever see a judge doing sorry, I just got a call. I muted
Sure.
it. But if you ever see a judge or someone else, like the opponent they're going up against, there's a hand symbol that basically means like you're kind of out of time. It's maybe I'll turn because I'm trying to explain my hand position, so I'll just turn on my. Can you see? So this is like the timing's not there. You can see sometimes judges like they're like kind of time. Also, like the opponent they're going up against will point it out to the judges. They're like, time, mark that down, judges. Time's not there. There are also other hand signals that they can do, that they'll hold up like a 2 if they're like you're repeating this. Sometimes they even go like 3 or 4. Like, they're like, you're repeating this a lot.
Yeah.
You keep doing this same sound and you're not changing up variations. And a lot of those things are used to like signify to the judges. They're like, you should dock him down for this.
It's interesting because on one hand, like, yeah, when the contestant does it, when the other person you're competing against does it. Like, that's not exactly like a helping hand. But when the judges do it, I think that that's interesting. And I think that goes back to the culture in beatboxing where people want to uplift the community and it's not necessarily like about selfishness. That probably won't stay forever as money kind of comes into the situation more and more. But for now, it exists, and cherish it while it lasts. I hope it lasts forever. I've seen this before. The second money comes in, people want to make a living, and that's fair, but they prioritize themselves instead of the community, and that's it's like we become adults. Happens, but that's what it is.
There's a sort of community around battling in beatbox where it's like when you're in the battle, it's like you against them. Like you're gonna kind of try to disparage them and be like, I am better than you. Like you have bad timing. Like you're doing this again, and sort of be mean in the moment.
Yeah.
But I mean,
afterwards,
you recognize it was just a battle and you hug it out. And
yeah, that's fine. That wasn't what I was referencing. Like I can appreciate, like LM got a lot of crap for it, but it was fun to watch. like he I couldn't find it again. I think it he's against somebody and the guy's like, yeah, whatever, and he's like, he says that, but and then like he does he adds another layer of like sounds to the same beat, and it was like, it was sick. Everyone was like, oh, like it was great. So yeah, that's not where I'm saying like what Stitch is doing is like the beginning of people trying to prioritize their well-being. And that's fine. That makes sense. We're adults. We have to pay rent. I have a mortgage. I think, though, there will be a time when someone, like there will be a Logan Paul of beatboxing. As much as anyone doesn't want to think about that, there's going to be someone who comes in who's like pretty good, maybe even great, but they're really interested in like making like $1 million. And to do that, you cannot distract yourself with prioritizing a community. To make that kind of bank, you need to prioritize yourself. I think that that's inevitable. But I would be so happy to be wrong. Like if that never happens, or like someone makes $1 million and they bring the community with them, like that's awesome. But like Conor McGregor comes to mind.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Boxer in StarCraft, Brood War, Conor McGregor in MMA. Who's the boxer that Golden Gloves production guy? Definitely the guy with the undefeated record who's a total a-hole. Floyd, yeah. Floyd Mayweather is a perfect example of that. He's a billionaire. Like he was like, F you, pay me. So I don't think that that's Codfish and Marquet. I think what happened with, well, I don't know Marquet. I can't speak to Marquet, but I think what happened with Codfish was he got big being a content creator before he joined the community. So he came up on his own off of the back of his content creation and how good he was, and how he rode the wave of Counter-Strike being like big. I mean, Counter-Strike is obviously still big, but like there was a time that making a Counter-Strike video was going to propel you super high because and this is where beatboxing actually is right now. CSGO was massive. Everyone played it. Very few people made content for it. That's why Codfish exploded. Is because he's playing Counter-Strike, he's getting the views, he's ranking in search, he's ranking in recommended, but then he's like, yeah, it's Counter-Strike, but hey, I'm beatboxing. Right? And so that's what built him separately from the community. And then he joins the community. And so like, I don't think that that's a good example. I can't speak to Marquet though.
I mean, Marquet, he does have a lot of. He's sort of in his. He's sort of beginning to converse with other beatboxers and try and get into. Try to talk with other beatboxers and stuff. He's mentioned he wants to come to the next GBB, and we haven't seen him at any sort of live events. He's sort of just been this only on Vine and TikTok sort of guy. He does have a lot of popular. He even has a TikTok beatboxing and Ariana Grande right next to him singing. So that's the sort of level that his videos have gotten, the amount of traction that they've gotten, which is pretty big for him. And but yeah. So I don't think there's anybody right now that's at like near the top that isn't concerned about bringing the community with them.
Yeah, that's awesome that he's willing to go into the GBB and do that, because like there's no need. Like guy's probably raking it in. He doesn't need to go compete. So that's really cool.
I don't know if he's gonna compete. He said that he wanted to be there.
That's fine too. Like in a way, I kind of prefer that too, because he's like him talking about it. That's going to bring views. Him not competing allows other people to take the stage on his platform. So I think that's actually really nice. Yeah, I don't think we have.
He's not going to be just like, this is a big stage now, so look at me. He's going just for the community aspect of it.
I think Codfish also brought a priority to flow. To answer Casey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go and have lunch.
I'm gonna go feed my chickens. So
nice.
Both of us are doing our things.
That's excellent.
Hey, and I'm getting their eggs. So
nice. All right. I might go live again with the music creation, but like, I just got a crap ton of content from this one stream, so I gotta probably tomorrow will probably be all editing, and I never edit. But there's just so much here. Like
some of it kind of needs to be edited.
Yes,
I imagine.
I mean, I stopped and started when things got like certain
way scientific.
With
epiglottis and stuff.
Yeah, but like I also like I'm gonna rip the last part of this when we're talking about Codfish and Marquet and like the community and like you know, is there Conor McGregor? You know what I mean? Like the classic like, is someone a douchebag? The video, and then it's like, no one's a douchebag, but I'm glad you clicked on it. like I've been telling Eclipse this. I'm shameless. I don't give a. I gotta make the bills. You know, it would be one thing if I were raking it in, but I'm not. So I'm shameless in that way. But yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of shameless, but I do have guilt.
I don't. It depends. If I'm like flat out wrong, or like there was another voice teacher who we've had like some contentious interactions, but she did make a point that was actually quite legit. I used to have a template of like verses, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and like, you know, she spoke up about that, and I was like, well, you know, like, did you watch the video? And she's like, you can't, like, that doesn't work. You frame the video in a way where the expectation is conflict, and you can't expect, like, that's your thumbnail and your title are your first impressions, right? So that one I walked back.
That's just maximizing your CTR. I mean,
yes and no. It's one thing if I'm hyping a singer. It's another thing if I put myself in a position against another voice teacher, because that's an actual head-to-head, I think.
Yeah.
But at the very least, I can't get mad when someone's mad about it. You know, like I'd have to be like blasé about it, but I kind of see where she's coming from. All of the singers have thanked me. I had a couple like really big singers, like Layla Hathaway, commented on a video of mine. Like,
nice.
So anyway, but that's neither here nor there. I'm Shameless, and I gotta eat lunch. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm amazed that people liked this, which is great because I like doing it. I don't know about your schedule, Eclipse, but I don't know if you want to do this again.
We'll definitely do it again. We'll talk.
Yeah.
I'd love to come back with like a certain videos and like
A little bit more
be
planning.
like a little bit more planning around
Yeah.
like what videos we'll watch and like the reasons for doing it, and I'll have things I want to point out in them and stuff. So
For sure. Yeah, I can appreciate that. I'm gonna send, when I edit these videos down, I'll like add like a stupid border or something just so they're different, and I'll send them your way so you can cross post if you want to. So, all right.
yeah.